7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 229. This is our Indianapolis wrap-up show. We are here in studio. I'm your host, Travis. And, we're here to wrap up the first race that I have been to all season here. So we're going to kind of go over my race weekend, which, because we don't, with not getting to go to every single round like some of the other media, it's a bit more exciting for us when we do get to go and we get some kind of insider information, some things you don't see. So we'll kind of go over that. We'll wrap up a epic race there in both the 450 and, 450s, yes. 250s, it was a little more boring. We've got, I don't have a tinfoil hat for this week. That I do not have.
I do.
Okay, we'll have a TLR tinfoil hat. We've got some reload rants, and we have a comment of the week here. In studio with me, Mr. Supercross only co-host. It is Cole. Hi,
What
bud.
up, y'all? I'm here. I'm in it.
Yeah. Justin's not going to be with us for a couple weeks. He's got some personal things he's taking care of here outside of the show, so he will be back. He said he's going to return before Supercross is over, but he's got to take a few weeks off, get some stuff handled, which is fine.
Potentially going to Detroit, I believe.
But maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. But
I don't know. Got to ask him about that. But anyway, before we get started, just want to thank all the sponsors that are on board with us. So first up, our presenting sponsors, Complete Racing Solutions. Check them out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Coach Rob can scientifically help you both on and off the bike become a better rider. So again, make sure to check them out. And check out all of Coach's stuff because he gives away a lot of it for free on YouTube and on Instagram. So make sure to check that out. Also want to thank our other presenting sponsor, TLR Coatings. Check them out, TLRcoatings.com, Michigan's #1 custom powder coating shop. Custom powder coating, anything metal, custom Cerakoting, do shipping nationwide. So again, check them out, TLRcoatings.com, and on all the major social media networks at TLR Coatings. Also on board with us, Holster Co, Gutter Worx, Adept Creative Co, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Edgewood Farms. Check them all out. Links in the description down below. And, we will get rolling. Also in the description down below, there are merch links. There are Amazon links. There are Patreon links. All that stuff will help us out. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And you can also like, comment, and subscribe. Will also majorly help us out here.
yeah, talk shit to us, please.
Yes, it's fantastic. I love going back and forth in the comments. So, all right, so let's get started here. So like I said, Indy Supercross, first race of the year that I have been to here. So we got hooked up with some industry passes. So we were kind of in and out of the pits all day, which was super cool in the stadium.
We as in not me.
Yeah, we as in
I
me and the
wasn't there.
chick. Yeah, no, not Cole. Me and the chick. And it was super, super cool. So, they let some of the privateers pit inside because it wasn't like super nice outside. So that was pretty cool, although they are tucked away, so you can't really get to them. I know like AJ Catanzaro was down there. I know a lot of you want to meet him, say hi, take a picture, all that kind of stuff. Kev was down there. Carnell was down there. A whole bunch of different dudes like that. So that was cool to be able to go down there and then back and forth in and out of the stadium, being in and out after the race was cool too. Got to see a lot of dudes. And after the race, it's nice because everybody's just kind of chill. Kind of like if you go to a national after the race, everybody's just chill.
Chilling.
Yeah. So,
Chilling like a villain.
So it makes it super, super duper nice. Probably, as me and Cole were talking about before we recorded, the busiest Indianapolis race or the biggest crowd at an Indianapolis race I have seen in about the 10 years I've been going. I think I started in like 2014-ish going. But like I said, by far, by and large, the biggest crowd ever. Upper deck was like almost filled because we had originally planned with industry seating. It's industry. they don't really care about you. so like last night we were actually, the industry seating was technically like up behind the podium in that corner. So you couldn't really see much. Now we sat up kind of like second level. Basically industry seating, they give you one section and it turns into like 18 sections all around there because I mean, dude, there were industry people everywhere.
Yeah.
I look like way down over, like farther in the corner, and I can see Craig's wife and Barsha's wife standing over there with the kids in the strollers, like
I had
rocking
eyes
them
on
back
you.
and forth. What?
I got a Snapchat of you up in the upper bowl.
Where? What?
Yeah.
From who?
I had eyes on you. Don't worry.
From who?
Don't fucking worry about
Like
it.
a legit one of me or a
Yeah,
lookalike,
it was
a
you and the
doppelganger?
chick just sitting there with the USA sweatshirt on.
We were matching.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty adorable.
So last night.
That's cute.
So fun fact. Last night when I rode by, or when I was riding back and forth helping Kev put stuff in the truck, I excuse me, I rode by what is it, Bevo from 100%,
Yeah.
and he had the same sweatshirt on, and he goes, "Nice sweatshirt."
Yeah.
I look at him and I go, "Thanks, I like yours too."
You should have said, no, I wear Scott goggles, though.
I'm a Scott Goggles athlete, and I got this shit for free. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. So like the biggest crowd. Isaac asked me.
It
if
looked empty around you, though,
they were weird
in the second bowl. It was empty.
Was it really?
I mean, the snap I got, there were seats behind you to your right and left.
I mean,
this must have been earlier in the night, maybe?
I don't know. There were seats. Oh wait, did Denver send it to you?
Yeah, it was Denver.
Yeah.
Dan, I wasn't going to reveal my source there, sir, but...
Well, I had to. It took me a second, but then I remembered he walked by in front of me at one point and
Yeah,
said, "What's
he was
up?"
like bottom left of you.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, yeah, there were seats still, but like it was full. Like it was a big crowd there.
Good.
It was a big crowd. So, and then sitting in the industry seating, like bunch of people obviously you don't know because there's a lot. It's not hard to find somebody in the industry and get industry passes. Like it can happen if you really want it to. But like I told you, I looked down at one point, I see like RJ Hampshire sitting there as the heats are going off, and I'm going, that's interesting because of course it's race day. The stadium is fucking packed, so self-service at a premium. And to top it off, so I go there to take videos, right? Mm-hmm. And we got 3 practices, and I moved for all of them, so we don't have videos that look the same. Dude, yeah, so end of Q1. Yeah, just the end of Q1. All of a sudden, my phone just freezes. It goes memory full, and then all of a sudden, it's like low power mode. Oh, you've got 5% battery left. I'm like, fuck me. So we have no videos of Q2.
Nice.
Because I went down and plugged it in. Thank God Kevin's mom had a iPhone charger. So
Oh, you just revealed your industry source.
So what do you mean? I just went down and saw them.
Oh.
They're not my source. I went down and saw them.
Who was your source then?
Yeah, I'll tell you later off the air.
Okay.
We cannot reveal. Feld doesn't like us.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Kev's not allowed to give you one. So.
Yeah. So anyway, so I had to plug the phone in. So Q2, I didn't get any videos. But hey, fun fact. I took 204 videos yesterday.
Jesus
between
fuck.
6.
Dude, you got to limit it a little bit.
12 qualifying.
Got to limit it.
Yeah, but okay, I moved every single one, so it doesn't look the same for every single one. And I made sure, too, on a lot of them, I only took videos, 1 video per rider per section type stuff. Now, I may have some repeats because at one point for Q1, we went down and sat somewhat in industry and stared straight down the whoops,
Well,
which was great. I got some crashes.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's
But
awesome.
Dude, why didn't you take the DSLR? Do a little zoom in and zoom in.
Well, because I
if
told
that's
you,
real, but
they
don't let you take.
they
DSLR.
don't let you take cameras in through the normal gates, and I didn't really know how this worked yesterday, so I wasn't going to take a whole I took my GoPro to interview guys after the race in the pits, which obviously didn't work great because most of the guys I was around downstairs didn't make the main anyway. So I mean
you could still ask them about their night, dick.
I mean, Jack Chambers, poor Jack Chambers there, crashed so much that my chick, by the end of the night, knew his name and every time he crashed. Because I think he only ate shit in the whoops 9 times yesterday. So anyway, yeah, I didn't really know, and I didn't want to have to go there and then go back to the hotel to then go back. Like, I just wasn't doing that. So I only took the GoPro, which I was only using for interviews, and then I used the what's it called? The phone the rest of the day or there or whatever. This week when we go to Detroit, I will have a power bank with a cable to go in. But yeah, so yeah, 204 videos. So we'll probably narrow that down to 175.
Yeah, I mean, when you got the
150.
video of David Pulley boner errand, just cut that one out. Like guys that are boner errand, just,
People like that stuff, dude. And they like it, and those privateer guys like that will like the video, reshare the video, which will then bring their followers to our show, which their followers will appreciate what we're doing because we are trying to fight for the rights of privateers.
I'm trying to fight for my right to party.
Oh God. Anyway, I don't know where I was there. Biggest crowd.
I was talking about boner errors.
We went out in the pits between Q1 and Q2. The line for the Star Racing rig was I've never seen a line this long for autographs. It went.
So how do the autographs work?
I have zero idea.
Detroit.
I have zero idea.
Okay.
So we came out.
Should have took a video of that. Like, holy fuck, look at this line.
We came out and there was privateers. Like kind of some of the privateer rigs, like the Rock River and the Rocky Mountain stuff, like that. And as we're coming up there, because they were like on the end, as we're coming up there, there's like a line of people running across the pits this way. Where I'm like, what the fuck
they're
is
trying to
this
get that
for?
autograph line.
So I go through there, and then we start trying to walk down towards like the factories and stuff. And
So like the gate opened and they were just fucking land rushing.
not only were they land rushing, they were just there. Period. I mean, this is between Q1 and Q2.
When's the session? When's the autograph session? After 2?
I have no idea. I didn't even, dude. We couldn't even get down there between the
Usain
rigs.
Bolton.
We literally walked up to the first row of factory trucks there, which was the Star truck. Stood on the curb on the side and kind of watched people go by for a while. And I just looked and I finally figured out, I was like, holy shit, that line goes all the way. Because there was the 250 and then the 450 Star truck, which the people went all the way to the first Star truck, came down, wrapped around, and went at least that far, if not farther, down the opposite direction. I mean, dude, it was nuts.
Really?
Insane.
How many Deegan shirts did you see in the stand? Or just wandering
I don't
around?
know. I didn't really pay
You
that
didn't
close
do
of
a
attention.
lot of laps.
No.
I usually take a lap around the stadium, look at that kind of shit.
No, we didn't. I was so locked in with moving to try to see or to try to get different views for qualifying for videos. Because, I mean, I went with the point of qualifying to get videos to put online.
So with industry passes, you can go in free practice too, right?
Yes,
If
but
you wanted to.
at Indy, they apparently let you do that anyway. Because free practice started at 12.
And
And
people were in?
And it opened at 12, yeah.
What time does shit open for?
I don't know.
No?
It's weird because it's different for
It's
every
different
stadium.
everywhere, yeah.
Because, like, when we went to, like, if you
St.
go...
Louis, we couldn't go.
St. Louis, we
only-
couldn't. I know when I went to A1, or when me and Justin went to A1, same thing. A2, when I used to go there, couldn't do that. Oakland was the same way. We did not get in for free practice. So, I don't know. It changes all the time. India, I feel like, has always been, you could get in then. The problem being that I didn't have industry passes before, because by the time I got, quote unquote, into the industry here, that pandemic thing happened, and then everything has been real weird, and now everything's kind of back to normal, which is why I can get them now. So this is the first time with me having any sort of industry access at a supercross race per se.
I've never had a supercross like outdoors. Like
Yeah, outdoors
outdoors is a loose program.
outdoors
so,
is way looser.
No, I like literally walked up with my business card, but maybe that has a little bit of leeway because I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I work for Tucker. I'm here for like answer athletes or something. Is what I
Yeah.
said, and then and I probably shouldn't say this, but fuck it. But the handed my business card
Yeah,
and the
butt
lady,
fuck.
yeah, butt fuck it. The lady handed that in, and the lady texted somebody, hang on, let me get a hold of somebody. And so I was looking at her phone. She texted it and was like, yeah, there's a guy here from Tucker or whatever. Can we sell him to him? And the response back said, sell them all. and I knew that in the back of my head. Like, it's a money game. Like, why do they care?
Oh, yeah.
Like, sell them $50.
Yeah. Well, I did see our friend Davey Coombs yesterday. Did not go up and say hi, but I did see him.
Oh,
Also-
you got beef with him?
I mean, I don't really have, outside of the not paying the riders like they should because, there's no money, but that's a whole nother
5-5
story.
at Southwick for $1,500.
5-5 at Southwick for
You
$1,500
notice Race Day Live cut that out? Well, you haven't seen Race Day Live
No.
yet. So on that topic,
I won't watch. I'll go back and watch the race, but
Well,
I'll go back and watch that.
Race Day Live is part of my race tech rant, but a race tech.
Jesus.
I listen to too much Paul.
I know. Me too.
Part of my reload rant.
I saw our hero Steve Mathis last night too. Did not go say hi to him either. I thought about when I saw him come in the privateer pits, there was a split second. I went, I should go ask him for an interview.
Oh, he probably doesn't even know who you are.
Who the fuck knows at this point? I'm honestly surprised with the people who do know who we are. So I don't even fucking know. I dropped my stuff.
Who surprises you?
I dropped my stuff off at TCD Racing the other day, and the guy told me that he listened to he used to listen to the show a lot, but he would listen to it with his kid, and they got to the point I was swearing too much, so he couldn't listen to it with his kid. And but now that I've been there, he's like, "Oh, let's start listening to it again." I was like, "Great, cool, man, thanks."
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
how long ago?
It must have been like the first few years, I want to say. So, which I'm like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me because at that point I thought nobody listened, so I just was
figured,
fucking going off. Yeah, now I'm trying to be better. I mean, I was freaking going off.
Yeah, well, I went into a dealer the other day too, and they had like a TV screen in there. It's like, yeah, so we watch Cole every week, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, Moto Aftermath Show.
I know, dude. It's
and
amazing.
I was like, shit, dude, maybe I should kind of watch what I say then.
Look, with everybody at Feld that knows who we are, it would not surprise me if he knew who we are, even if he doesn't say it out loud. So, whatever.
Certain people, yeah. I think it's kind of cool to know if people know, you know what I mean? But
look, at some point I'll find out.
what was I saying? I lost track. Oh, Race Day Live.
Yeah.
They changing the narrative.
Oh, boy.
They
Oh, yeah.
so they took Max Anstey's press conference interview.
Yeah.
They chopped out the $1,500 part
No way.
and went from I'm milking the 250 class, and then talked their points on that, just to kind of veer people away from the $1,500 thing. And Daniel Blader was just like, yeah, I mean, I think it should be all one region, and I think it's cool. I think it's fine that he can milk the class.
I have a video of Daniel Blair taking video of riding in free practice.
Oh, a video.
Yeah, he was like a section down taking video, and I turned and I just recorded him, and I'm gonna do
Now
a
Daniel
post.
Blader is somebody that I would feel comfortable walking up and saying, "Hey man, like I appreciate it when you reach out." Or
Yeah,
listen
I was
or
going
whatever."
to, but he was doing stuff
sure
too,
he
you
was
know,
busy as shit.
and I'm like, dude, it's race day. He's busy. Like I'm not gonna walk up and talk. Like whatever he's trying to do right now, he's trying to do so he can get it done, so we can go do race day
Right.
live or whatever.
Right.
So I just left it alone. But yes, he does respond to us and everything like that when we ask him stuff. So yes, I would feel comfortable going up to him and introducing myself also.
Yeah.
Because he obviously knows somewhat of who we are. So
Yeah.
well, and Toolman Dan was on the show at one point too. So
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah,
Race recap now.
that's a little bit. Hang on. How about
Oh boy.
tell me about your dinner.
Oh, so Friday night.
So I think you were getting at that. People were eyeing you that they knew who you were when you walked into dinner.
I'm not sure. It was either that or the 100% sweatshirt, one of the two. Because I have no idea. I did see my best friend Hunter Lawrence at dinner Friday night.
Best
Was
friend.
gonna go sit at that table. It was very full, and Jet wasn't there, and I was like, man, that's not really
was at
worth
that
my
table?
time. Him, his chick, Lucas Myrtle came in at one point. So he was there. Who's their trainer there?
O'Mara?
Yeah, O'Mara was there. I'm not sure who the other people were. But yeah.
What were they eating? Pasta?
I have
Steak?
no idea. I have no idea.
See, I'd be
I didn't
curious
get
to see what those fuckers are eating.
So it was like you went in and there was like the check-in desk, and then you could kind of like see through, and I could just see him at the end of the table where they were. And then when we went in, like, so check-in desk, and then like over here's the bar, and so we went into the bar this way and up around, and then saw Hayden Deegan and his film guy sitting at
Were
a
you gonna
table
buy him
having
dinner or what?
Absolutely. The amount of money that kid has made me in the last month, I'll buy him dinner all day long.
Yeah.
So
You actually tried to buy him dinner?
no, well, I was going to. Waitress didn't come up in time. I saw them paying. Yes, I am that creeper. Everybody, I expect comments down below. But yeah, so anyway, in all fairness, his film guy was eyeing me when I walked in, and I'm like, I don't know. Am I famous? Like, should I be worried?
No.
We have 5,000 subscribers. We are a big deal now.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are, I don't know. I
Just
have to look at
bots?
the analytics.
Just
but
bots?
Are they bots or are they people from Nigeria?
No, I will say the analytics have changed, though. The majority is more U.S. now.
Oh.
Like we were India real big
Right,
time.
right.
India and Indonesia or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we are more US based. So
Oh, that's pretty damn cool.
yeah, it's interesting. So, that is one of the cool things. I was having a conversation with someone this week about one of the cool things about the industry is the access that you have to the athletes. And
You're not coming into a restaurant and seeing Tom Brady
Or LeBron.
Or LeBron, yeah.
because whoever I was talking to, and I don't remember who it was last week before we even went, I was talking about at Redbud after the race, walking around doing the show, and the kid and the chick are walking with us and stuff. And Savachi's just sitting outside the truck in this like an hour and a half after the race, just hanging out with his wife. And I told the kid, I was like, hey, run up to him, fist bump him, and say, great race, bro. And so she was super nervous, but she did it. Savachi was real nice and, did it and was like, thank you, and everything like that, and, waved at us and whatnot. And I was like, dude, you're not doing that, like you said, after a baseball game, after an NFL game, after a basketball game. Like, you're not doing that with one of the starting players there. You're not. So the access you have, and then just like you said, like, we go into this restaurant, and here is, Hunter Lawrence, who's leading the East Coast. Hayden Deegan, who's got 1 million followers on YouTube. And again, he's sitting there, and he was there for probably 10 or 15 minutes. I could clearly see him from like where I was sitting, I was staring at him.
Hat backwards?
I don't remember.
Forward.
I don't remember. To be honest with you, not
What
sure.
was he eating?
I don't know, okay? I'm not that creepy, all right? Anyway, I only saw him take one picture, which was amazing that only one person. And I saw the girl get up. She went over to him. He was like, yeah, no problem. Took the picture with her in the restaurant, everything. Like, film guy took it for him. All that shit, dude. So, like, you just don't have access to athletes like that in the major sports. But you do with motocross and supercross, which is cool. It's one of the things I really like about it. You can see these guys out like that all the time. Saw Talon Hawkins at dinner that night, too. So, lots of...
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff. And it's something that, like, when you go to one of these races, if you do go in the night before, have dinner somewhere downtown, like, not a chain.
Who'd you run into at Old Spaghetti Factory? Marv was in there one year or something?
No, it wasn't Old Spaghetti Factory. It was Punch
Bowl Social.
Punch Bowl Social,
Yeah.
yes. And,
R.I.P.
Yes, and him and Mattil and whatever. That must have been 2019, because that would have been the first year I went with Ashley, because she was going to go over and talk to him. Because he kept looking at me at dinner. I very clearly remember, because he was like sitting here and we were sitting at a table over here, and we had direct
he was probably like,
eyesight.
why the fuck does this guy keep looking at me? Or beep, why does this guy keep looking at me?
So and like I said, you just do not have access to people like that. Well, hell, one of the first years I went to Indy, there's a place downtown right across the street from the convention center. And me and my chick at the time were walking around, and we could see a bunch of people in there. And we were like, what the hell's going on? It was a Friday night. Well, we walk in, and they were having a meet and greet for all the different teams. So here are all these tables. It's like Ryan Dungey, RJ Hampshire, like all these different top
where?
guys. I don't know. It was just some random building like across from the... when you go through downtown to the stadium there, and there's like that tunnel you go through where the railroad tracks go over it? So it's right before that, across the street from the convention center. It's just a weird glass building that's there that I think is made to do events like that or whatever. Yeah. And so we were like, holy crap. And like, we didn't know if we were supposed to be in there or not. We just kind of opened the door and went for it. But anyway, then we walked around, and later when we came back, we were walking back like towards the stadium, and RJ Hampshire and Ryan Dungey come shooting out the side door and are walking to go to their rental car to obviously go back to their hotel. And I mean, that's another thing is like, they were on the street. I could have walked up. I'm very gun shy when it comes to fanboying people.
I am too.
Like, I don't know how to approach them because
yeah.
It's like, I know everything about you. You probably don't know who I am. And, like, I'm not trying to be a fanboy that's like, hey, can I take a picture with you and all this stuff? Because, like, that's not my thing.
Right.
My thing is like, if I want to talk to you, I want to get information, but that requires, like, a certain sense of broing down, and with not me, it's a weird situation.
Weird. Yeah.
So, anyway, but again, like, LeBron's not doing that. He's not doing a meet and greet and then walking down the street by himself.
No.
It's not happening.
No, he's not getting into the elevator like Mookie. I remember people
Yes.
getting in the elevator and being with Mookie in the elevator and Big James.
Yep.
Like,
So... I don't know, man. It's super cool. And then today was just a shit show getting out of there. So we stayed at the Marriott.
The big ass one.
Not the blue one, not the JW Marriott, the regular Marriott.
I stayed in the JW last year.
Did you? We put that on our list because we're like, man, we should stay in that big blue one. That's awesome. But
So,
anyway,
no. Oh, well, sorry to cut you off. Another cool thing about Indy that I really enjoy is the hotels are all connected to the convention center. So if it's super cold out, you can walk right into the convention center
prime
and make it all the way to the stadium.
Yep. That was prime yesterday for us for going
And then you
there.
can go tunnel under.
You can,
or
if
you
it's
can go
open.
outside and across. But,
Yep.
I think that's super cool. I mean, I'm not a big fan of cold weather or carrying a jacket to the race and stuff like that. So it's worth the extra little bit of money to stay right downtown when you go to Indy. That's really cool.
Plus, you don't have to drive, so you don't have to worry about it after the race. Indy is one of my favorite races, and I've been to several different Supercrosses in several different cities now. It is one of my favorite cities to go to. Like Anaheim. So Anaheim was cool. Because you can stay at hotels. There's a ton of hotels for Anaheim because it's not far from Disneyland. So there's a ton of hotels down there where you can stay, but it is about a 35-minute walk down through a whole apartment deal.
And there's a tent city there. So I've only been to Anaheim once, and we just drove in for the day.
Oh, okay.
So we got there real early in the rental car, in the rental truck, and we just sat on the roof of it and just watched all the industry guys roll in. So it was kind of cool. Me and Tommy D.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was an event.
Yeah,
We had a good time, though.
So whenever I've gone to Anaheim, we've stayed in a hotel down in the Disneyland area and then walked down there and walked back. And like I said, the only downside is it's about a 35-minute walk from there down, but you can walk it, which saves you a whole bunch of either you don't have to pay for Uber, you don't have to pay for parking, you don't have to worry about getting out in traffic after the race. Like there's a whole bunch of savings there with that. So that one's okay. It's not quite as convenient as Indy of being able to be at a hotel, park your vehicle, all that kind of stuff, and not have to worry about it all weekend because everything you pretty much need is right downtown there. There's grocery stores, there's CVS's, there's Walgreens, there's all the restaurants, there's the mall, there's movie theaters, there's arcades, there's axe throwing, there's all sorts of stuff you can do downtown Indy there to keep you busy for a couple of days. So so I would highly recommend if you're trying to come to a race, Indy is highly recommended on my list there. So I do like the stadium in Arizona, the Glendale Stadium. That's super nice.
That's pretty cool. I haven't been to that
Yeah,
one.
it's super duper nice stadium. Pretty nice area. They're super strict with bags there though, so do not try to take bags in. Like do your best. They want the clear bags, but they're super strict with size and everything there. I do remember that with them. Detroit we go to, but I don't really care for Detroit.
It's here.
Yeah, it's 2 hours away. We can go there and back in the day, so that's why we go. St. Louis was sketchy.
St. Louis. I mean, if you stay downtown, it's not bad. But if you stay a little off the beaten path in St. Louis, it's sketchy.
Yeah, St. Louis can get sketchy quick. Oakland, I would not recommend at all. Daytona is
It's cool because of the atmosphere.
and where you're at. But it still is kind of like it's hard to see.
That's one.
You can't see the
that's
whole
one
track.
you go there to check out all the vendors and stuff outside.
Yeah.
You go downtown after. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do that whole thing.
Oh, it's pretty cool if you go downtown for bike week and shit.
When we went, we were at Disney anyway. It's about an hour drive over there, so it was very simple to drive over and drive back in the day. So, trying to think if I don't think I've been to any other ones. I just booked something for work, so I'm not going to be able to do the Nashville one now, so that sucks.
I'll be there for you.
But the budget wasn't there, so great. I'm expecting lots of shorts content.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe not 200 videos worth of shorts content, but
I mean, I'm going with Rusty and buddy Zach and maybe a couple other guys. There might be some Wapple Pops involved, so I don't know.
So anyway, overall, great weekend. If you can get out the races, make sure you do because
it's cool, man.
everything's back to normal. So, all right, now we are a half hour in, and we have not talked about the race at all. So let's start with our. I mean, it's whatever. We will have a breakdown of what we've seen this week coming up at the races there at Detroit because we will both be there. So, all right, so let's get into this 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutter Worx. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description down below. Gutter Worx gutters, always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. And we're going to talk about him tonight. So, all right. Well, Kickstart Kenny kickstarted my heart last night.
Oh, we're starting with 450s.
We are 450 race recap brought to you by Worx. Not sure if you listened to me.
Well,
which
I
apparently you
listened,
don't.
but I feel like we'd never really start with that. So
We always start with 450s now.
Fuck, I guess I...
So anyway, the 450 class here, like I said. So Kenny pulled that off. Dude, that was incredible. And that crowd was electric for that last
so
night.
I heard it on TV, and I was pretty jealous I wasn't there. So for you that was there, how... Was that one of the loudest races you've ever been to?
Had goosebumps.
Yeah.
Had goosebumps. I don't know if it was the loudest race. That's hard to say. Let's see here, because I'm trying to think of some of the different ones I've been at.
I mean,
maybe it was the busy. It was definitely the busiest. Like I said, one of the busiest I've ever been at. So
Yeah, I mean, I was in St. Louis for Kenny's first win since the Arm, and that was pretty dang cool. Pretty loud. Everybody was stoked for him, obviously, but this one felt different. And even on TV, it was different, man. I don't know if it's just because of the Suzuki, how terrible he's been doing, and then comes out and wins, riding with pressure the whole way. It was a great win.
Everybody in industry seating was freaking out. And there were a couple Hemp guys sitting up there. I think it was Chiz's dad and somebody else were sitting up there too, and everybody was patting him on the back, congratulating them, and seeing Kenny just come around, put that bike down, kneel down, pat on it.
He set the bike down real nice and
He
gently.
did. He didn't throw it down, but yeah, it was, like I said, I mean, I'm getting some goosebumps talking about it now. It definitely gave me goosebumps being in the stadium there, watching that happen and seeing his reaction. Like, that meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Big deal.
Big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not only Kenny, the team, Suzuki.
Did you see that Dustin? Have you seen that Supercross Feld, whatever you want to call it, is now doing a post-race interview show with people?
Yeah, they're trying to basically cancel all the media out, basically.
It's interesting. That's for. I'm not going to go down this road.
Yeah,
here,
I wonder how other media outlets are feeling about that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to some next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that can be an opener. Like, hey, how do you guys feel about this?
Yeah. So.
But yeah, back to Kenny. Like, that. Oh, wow, got a little burp going. Shouldn't have drank a Mountain Dew. But I think that win ranks up with one of the feelings I had watching Reed win A2 when he chased down Stewart in 2014. It had a lot of that similar feeling to me. Everybody kind of doubted Kenny, was writing him off, like, why are you riding a Suzuki? And it was cool, man. Now, let me ask you this. So I watched a Roxon interview that Vital did.
Okay.
Mr. Jamie. Did with Kenny. And Kenny was like, yeah, like, even people that I don't necessarily like were riding up and congratulating me. And on TV, the only two people I seen that maybe he didn't like that rode up and congratulated were probably Anderson and Barsha. So who else rode up?
I didn't really see anybody. I saw AC hug him when we were there. I didn't see any of the other people until I was watching something this morning. And then I also thought it was not Barsha. Barsha, I was like, him and Kenny have had their run-ins, but they've always
kind of had a mutual respect.
Maybe, I want to say.
Yeah.
But the Anderson thing was weird. Anderson was really, because I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you and Anderson were cool. Not cool. Boys or whatever, to like the point. And it's like, Anderson was not in that fight last night.
No.
So.
Like, he's the only guy that rode up, and then I heard Kenny say that, and it was like, oh, I guess, yeah, they don't like each other, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought that was interesting.
It definitely was. Like I said, when I watched that, I was like, I don't really know that Anderson
who else rolled up? Because I saw Chiz. They're boys.
Yeah, so
AC boys.
I think Shane came up too, but they're on the same team. So yeah. So those were the only two. Barsha and Ando were the only two that I've seen video of rolling up. And again, in person, I didn't see anybody but AC. I saw him and AC hugging because they did that right before I went down the stairs and was trying to get downstairs. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I thought that was interesting.
But everybody was pumped.
Yeah,
everybody was pumped.
How about the podium interview? You get to watch that at all?
I did, but I don't remember it.
He had the Kickstarter.
Oh yes. So I did.
Oh, did they pull it off the bike or did they have it in
No,
stock?
they've had
Okay.
one. They've had one in the bag since the beginning of the
oh,
year.
okay.
This has been planned that if he got on there, and dude, I thought that was cool too.
Yeah.
Nice little touch of like, yo, 90s punk rock Kickstarters are back.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like,
so-
that's awesome.
Yeah, and to follow it up, Barsha was like, "Yeah, I tried getting my guys to pull the
Pull the
battery out." So,
Yes, I thought that was awesome too.
yeah, so that's some cool stuff that we need to see.
Do you want to know what else was cool? Did you see with all of them
All
with their,
three with their kids?
kids and their chicks on the podium? Yep.
Yeah, you think it was awkward for Kenny and Coop?
That is.
Do we want to go there?
I don't know what that's like, man. Because that would
Or are they over it?
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, when you got
at
a
this-
kid and a
at this
family
point,
and you're married,
at
they
this
gotta
point,
be
I'm
over
sure
it.
they're over it. Like there isn't an awkwardness about it, but there still is an awkwardness. It's like your best friend banging your ex chick and falling in love with her. You know, like.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily they were boys. They were
No.
never buddies. But it's like,
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it's like that. It's not like your best friend actually doing it, but like, dude, it's a coworker.
yeah,
Let's
like
face it.
hey, my coworker married my ex
Yeah,
and
married
had a
my
kid with
ex
him.
and had a
Yeah.
kid with her. So yeah, that's definitely. That's a weird situation. Because like, what do you do like when she comes up on the podium, Kenny? Are you just like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, like how does that go?
I
Like,
don't know, man.
hey, Mariah, you want to bring your kid up on the podium with us?
I don't know, man. But it is weird. It's such a changing of the times because this has been brought up time and time again on every show out there. Is like all these dudes have kids outside of Sexton, and then
I thought that was a super cool picture.
yeah, I did too. I thought it was cool. So,
that little section is why Tim isn't going to listen to our show.
yeah, exactly. Here is one thing that I didn't like about last night somewhat. The opening ceremonies, they have changed it. So, and
we're
maybe
getting off track here real quick.
a bit, but
Yeah.
it pertains to the 450 class essentially.
Did Kenny come out to Kickstart My Heart?
No, not anymore. They've changed the song now. He's not to Kickstart My Heart anymore. It's shoot, what is it? The one when I get high on speed or whatever it is. Yeah, whatever that one is there. I can't think of the
That's
name of it
Kickstart
now.
My Heart.
Is it really? That's not it, is it?
When I get high on speed. Kickstart
I'm terrible with music,
My
so
heart. I think so. Hang on, I'm gonna look up the lyrics. Finish your thought.
maybe it is. Okay, yeah, no, now that I think about it and the lyrics and stuff, yes, you're right. Anyway, okay, but
When I get high on speed. Top fuel, funny cars, a drug for me. My heart, Kickstart My Heart.
okay, cool. Then yes, he does still. Sorry. I'm terrible with music, everybody.
Gee.
Anyway, though, when they used to do opening ceremonies, they would start them at 6:30, right? And it was basically like national anthem, fireworks, riders start coming out, right?
Yeah.
So what they've done now is they have shortened up the rider thing. Like they've condensed it. I don't know if it's 15, 20 minutes now. So they still do the national anthem and stuff, but there's a long ass video that they have of these guys, you know, doing their dumb like dance moves and stuff like that.
I hated that.
It's I don't like it as much. And yes, they have added 250 guys. They do like the top three.
I like
or maybe
that.
it's not even top three.
I think
Yeah, it is top
I
three.
think top
It is
three's
top three.
okay. That's
Yeah,
acceptable.
because they did Deegan.
Hunter, Nate, and Deegan.
No, Deegan.
Jordan.
No.
Anstey.
Ansty. Thank you. Jesus, I was blanking on the name there. They did Deegan, Ansty, Hunter. And all they had them do was they didn't ride out. It was
They were in the
like
crowd.
Yeah, they put them in the crowd or whatever. Which
How loud
funny.
was it for Deegan?
Oh, it was pretty loud.
Yeah.
It was pretty loud. And I think so what they did is as they were doing like not the Pledge of Allegiance, the fucking national anthem and stuff, you could see them getting the ladders out and like putting them up in the thing there. And I swear some dude ran down and was like, Deegan, and like patting him on the back and stuff. And then security's like, no, you gotta go. Like, hey, whatever, before they even announced him. And he didn't go real far up into the crowd. Ansty going for it, bro. He's running up those stairs, high-fiving people like this, like whatever. And so I don't have a problem with the top 3 250 guys because anyway, you're going to start with the 250 class. Like you do the opening ceremonies, then you start with 250s. It's not 450s.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is they've shortened the video super short and the songs super short that they bring the guys out to.
Yeah, the guy basically has enough time just to do a wheelie down the start straight.
Yep, and then it's on to the next guy basically. So I don't like that. I wish they would do more of what they used to do where that stuff was longer. But anyway, small off topic there. Moving on here, Justin Barsha, second place. Bro, contract year. That's all I got to say.
I tweeted it out. I was like, contract Barsha's here.
Dude, he was impressive yesterday though.
That's
all day.
That Barsha's fun to watch.
It is.
And
that track allowed him to really be Barsha because, I mean, so we sat there and watched, we looked straight down the whoops and straight down that 3-3 before. And I mean, dude, they're hitting that 3-3 and they're just like way sideways and you're like, holy shit, they're going to crash. And then they nail it, you know, and then they're coming down the whoops and they're just all, I don't know how many times Ashley was like, oh my God. And it's like, cause guys were like, you know, sideways.
Borderline scary to watch.
Dude, it was. But that track played right into him, and man, did he has his number.
Passed all day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
but it's momentum swinging though. Swinging. Giggity. From Daytona though. I think he's a podium guy in Daytona and Rocky Mountain Fantasy guy here. I had him second. I did. And it'd be interesting to see if he carries this momentum because God, I wish we had this Barsha all the time. And he surprisingly rode really clean.
Yeah.
Even in the heat race.
Here's the thing. Rumor mill going through the pits is that gas was, or not rumor mill. The feeling going through the pits is that gas was like, well, you know, this has been great. Everything's been awesome. But it's time we move on to the next thing, you know. With him, he's going to make it real tricky for that. Real tricky for them to just like, oh, see you later.
Oh, you think they're upset with the image?
No, I don't think they're upset with the image. I just think they're ready to move on to the next person. Yeah, you know, Barsha's at the end of his career, so how much are you going to milk that cow before it's done, you know? Because Barsha's not going to go forever, so now we need to move
two guys.
Not right now. So, yeah,
that'll be interesting.
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch. It's kind of like Webb with KTM and the way his season's going. Like, does he leave? Does he stay? Does he leave? Does he stay? I'm not sure. We'll see. So
Barsha's going to make that hard, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it is definitely a thing, and he is definitely riding good. So we'll have to see going forward here how it looks. But
yeah.
I mean, at the end of that,
at the end of that main, I'm like, dude, Roxon's going to be sitting in the fourth row because when's the last time Barsha had a chance to win?
100%. I mean, we were lined up for such a good thing there because Webb would Webb and him were yo-yoing hard. And I was like, oh, Webb's going to make that late race push. And then, nope, just didn't have it and had some mistakes. And like that cost him.
I think he rode smart, though, which we'll get into.
He did. And then you got Barsha, and Barsha put a push in and catch and then kind of fall off and then put a push in and then kind of fall off. And it was a wild race.
Oh, yeah.
It kept me on my toes there without anything really happening.
Yeah. He, even the heat race, though. Coming through both of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Roxon's covering the line, found a way around him cleanly.
Heard on the post-race interviews, he was like, yep, got done with qualifying, sat there and told myself, you're going to win your heat race. And Mathis goes, that's all it took, huh? And he's like, yeah, so I guess I'm going to have to do that every week now. So.
Well, yeah, man, he did it. And how about that whip over the finish line?
Sick.
That was saucy.
Sick.
You've seen some of the photos of it?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I would frame one of them. That one's badass with his legs sticking out.
It was good. So, third place, Cooper Webb there.
I think that's just a smart ride out of Coop.
I think so, too. And he's got the red plate now.
Yeah, red plate.
Which is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Yep. I think he's out there. He's riding track sketchy, but he sees Sexton on the ground.
Yep.
Knows he's way back. Probably saw the crash itself. Knows that it was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Pretty good one. And Tomac was just, again, a guy, when Tomac's not feeling it, he ain't feeling it. And
we'll get to both of them here.
I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I got my thoughts on that too. But yeah, Coop, I think didn't want to push it. Didn't want to mess with the honey badger.
I will tell you what. I don't know how much they showed on TV of him in the heat race.
Mm-hmm.
They got
How
done
was
with,
that crash?
They got done with that heat race, and I went, "He's fucked. This isn't gonna go well at all."
I didn't think that, but I was surprised to see him on the
Dude.
ground.
Him and Tomac did not look good all day, and which is crazy because going in, I thought, okay, tight track, very technical, got to get the low lines going early, web all day. And then when we got done with that heat, I went, like, we got done with qualifying, I was like, this is going to be tough. We got done with the heat, I was like, nope, this is not going to go well. And then I was like, man, Sexton could walk away with this tonight. Obviously that didn't happen, but yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tomac 8th or something was on the pit board.
Yeah.
And, or Red Plate was on the pit board.
Yeah, something like that.
Because, I mean, that's dangerous.
Now,
That's dangerous.
one plus side, I will say, they were showing the different points as the race was going on the big screen at the stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
There were 2 different times I saw updates on the big screen of like, oh, if they finish like this is where the points are.
Oh, you think Webb's looking at the Jumbotron?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't up there for like a long time, so probably not.
Yeah,
but I
he
did
ain't
see
hitting
it.
the ruts off the finish line and looking up and saying, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
1 point down."
Yeah, trust me, you weren't hitting that. So, all right, moving on. 4th place, Aaron Plessinger, and this is
It
better.
was a really overlooked ride, actually.
Very much so, and it's way better than I thought the day was going to go after qualifying. Because in qualifying, it wasn't like spectacular, and he
Yeah.
wasn't really at the top of the board, which I thought he would be because he loves this place. He's from Ohio, so it's
Ruts.
local race, ruts, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, "Ooh, he's going to be good. He's going to be so good." And it was not as great as I thought, but to come out with a 4th,
Yeah, he was just kind of silent 4th, and yeah, I'm kind of upset that I overlooked him like that because he's had
Yeah.
a lot of success in Indy. Won his first ever race in Indy. It's the hometown crowd for him, basically, and yeah, dude, put her in 4th.
Let me tell you this. Crowd was very loud for him.
Oh, I bet.
Very loud for him.
I bet.
You want to talk about opening ceremonies, who they were the loudest for?
AP was loudest. Won it.
Yep. So
That's pretty cool, man. So yeah, quiet night.
he is another one that's, where is he going after this year? Because his contract's also up, and he is the rumor mill. I've heard that Gas is like, well, he might be fun for the image.
Oh, I think he'd be great on.
That'd be
Gas.
awesome.
Yeah.
But who knows going forward here. Jason Anderson, 5th place.
This right here,
Team Fried.
team fired.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
I'm telling you, dude. I think there's a lot to that.
I think it's a Kawasaki thing.
But I'm telling you, I think there's a lot to what I said.
I mean, I'm not saying that what you said is wrong, but I also think it's a Kawasaki thing.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't have that shield. He doesn't have.
He doesn't have that shield, and Kawasaki, we know how they are. I will preach this every single weekend from now to the end of the series. It's just not the right fit for him. It was last year because everything was cool and new and, whatever, and it went well. As soon as
Now
things
the
start going
expectations are on
sideways
him.
and expectations are on him, it's not great. It's not great. I'm telling you, I would highly not be surprised, and I'm saying a lot of silly season stuff here, which is ruining my silly season show. I would be not very surprised if he does not ride next year and then comes back for Triumph in 2025.
I don't think he sits a year out.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. He's Jason Anderson. He sat a year out already.
I mean, on a 250F,
So,
you can't do that and ride at that level.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know.
My shock level would be very low if that happens. Maybe not
He's contracted for outdoors though, right?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he can find a way to bail and go do World.
he'll bail. I don't know about going to do World, but he'll bail.
If he sits out a year, he'll go do World.
Yeah, that could be a thing. He could go do World next year. That would be interesting. Rick Ware Racing, Jason Anderson.
Dude, just watch Rick Ware Racing just become a World Supercross dynasty.
That'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. So he is very surprising with how off he is this year, though.
Yeah, I think I think it has a little bit to do with like hardpack stuff. So he really excels on hardpack.
What-
and we
yeah,
haven't
but-
had a lot of hardpack yet.
What's your percentage he gets a win before the end of the year still?
I think he squeaks one out, which we'll talk to about it at the end of the show. But I think he'll be good in Detroit. A little drier.
Depends how the dirt is.
Yeah.
Also, just a little inside info. Lime in the dirt this weekend
At Detroit?
at Indy.
Yeah, I didn't do shit.
I found out some of the things to look for as to be able to tell if there's lime in the dirt. So, lime in the dirt.
So how'd that go?
I mean, it's fine. The person I was talking to about it, as we talked about, the problem was the water
In the line.
and the lime getting together. When you have an indoor stadium like this and there's no water splashing, it doesn't fucking matter. So, all right, moving on. Adam Cianciarulo 6th. This was a quietly good ride after coming back from 2 weeks off.
I think that's phenomenal.
He
On a
was
track like
pumped.
that. On a
He
track
was
like that.
pumped. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was pumped. And, dude, good starts right up front. I mean, that's a really, really good ride.
That's a great confidence booster for him.
Especially, like I said, coming back after 2 weeks off. And he's made it very clear that he just re-aggravated the wrist, and he rode press at, where were we at 2 weeks ago?
The wrist brace was back.
Yeah, but when he re-aggravated it, he rode press 2 weeks ago and didn't feel safe riding, and that was his deal. So, yeah, I don't know. This was a quiet, good ride. I couldn't even told you where he finished last night. I just know he was running up front at the beginning. I was dialed in.
He didn't fade. There's the thing. Usually he starts kind of fading, and
There were two battles I was dialed in on last night. Number one was the front battle, as everyone was.
Tomac drag battle.
Yeah, no. I did see that like for a couple of corners.
The Hill Brothers battle.
I was watching Harlan, Morans, and Norin battle to the death for like 16th place.
They were going at it, huh?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. So, but anyway, good ride on Adam Cianciarulo there.
He is also the topic of my tinfoil hat.
Oh boy, Christian Craig 7th.
Late race pass on the
Late
Mac?
race pass on Tomac, dude.
Wow, who could have wrote that?
Well, after Tomac didn't he tuck the front or something? He crashed.
No, somebody weeded it in front of him, about hit him.
Oh, okay, yeah, and he like had to.
Was it Morant?
He like had to stop.
wasn't
no,
Kev.
no, Kev didn't weed.
Who was it? It was I don't know, whoever it was, but Tomac about ran him over.
Yeah. So no, Tomac did go down too. He slid
At least
out
the
or
replay
something.
I saw didn't. He didn't.
He slid out or something because I remember in the stadium of was it Lurch? No, somebody was like Tomac's down, and I looked up and he was getting up. So he did go down at some point. Nobody cares when you're not running up front, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Craig tucks the front all the time, probably.
Yeah.
No one sees it, but big Christian Craig fans here. Was very sad. Was hoping to run into Paige yesterday and talk to her a little bit more. Didn't happen. So, anyway, he came out with this. I think he had Jagger on the bike with him
That's
for
cool.
opening ceremonies.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Stuff like that's cool.
All right.
Is
Eli-
it still the bike?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Because I watched him through the whoops a few times yesterday. Wasn't great. So, all right. Eli Tomac 8th. He decided to not completely throw the title away last night,
Yeah. So here's my thing.
but he looked like trash all day. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I mean, when he ain't feeling it, he ain't
he
feeling it.
ain't feeling it at this
But
point.
here's the thing: he's 1 point down. How many weirdo rides has he had like this year? Like 3,
Yeah.
and he's 1 point down.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting because Webb, I think, is picking up the steam,
Webb is. Yep.
but I think Tomac's gonna be really good as we start getting back toward this hard pack stuff.
The way it's going right now with him and with the front 3 here, it's slowly becoming the front 2.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get to the third one here in just a second. But again, this is really weird to see him not feel it and back it down and just put the laps in. But I'm telling you, he did not look good yesterday at all. I watched him on and off all day, and it was weird. It's weird to see. You just don't see it with Tomac. Yeah. So, oh man, your boy Justin Hill, 9th place. Great ride for him.
Come on, where's the bet?
Great ride.
Dug him at $20.
There was a
Bet?
few. Absolutely not. No. I'm not in that. I'm not in that pool.
He's
but
sneaking in the top 10.
that's
Qualifying better too.
he was challenging Tomac for a second too.
Well, look, dude, He's still working on figuring out the bike and stuff too, and technically privateer team,
Yeah,
kind of cool.
Tedder,
Tedder, baby.
Team Tedder.
Team Tedder.
Got some parts. They're good to go.
Team Tedder and Justin Hill.
Here we
top.
go. Chase Sexton, 10th place.
Chase Rexton.
Yes, good call, dude. So this is now all completely in his head. He's completely mind effed, and I don't know how you break him out of this. He's got to put it together and get a win. He's got to put it together and put 2 together in a row to get out of this. Otherwise, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, and that is the thing, right? That's what we keep saying. People are even beating us up in the comments about it.
We'll get to that.
How many more times are we gonna say?
Yep.
If he gets it together.
It's just like last night's mistake. Like, what are you doing going through that rut, dude?
Yeah, 'cause I watched it too. He went and he cut Webb off and hit that rut and it jarred him. And the next lap he hits it and goes to Indonesia.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like there were 2 ruts on the inside there, or you could go outside and it was better. And the inside rut was fine. The one he went in was super deep that everyone was hitting for the first 5 laps. And yeah, dude, that was just it was terrible.
I don't know if it's something you got to think about when you're riding too. But did it hit the shifter and put it into false neutral?
That could
I think
be.
that's what happened.
That could be
it was so
too.
deep.
Now here's the thing too. It is funny with how many times we've seen those Alpine Star helmets lose their visors and his gets stuck on him. I mean, did they not show that on TV?
I saw him throw it down or something.
Oh no, he stood there for a couple minutes because I'm like, what's he doing? And he's doing this, and I'm like, what is he doing? He couldn't get the visor off. It had like wedged itself down like this, and it took him a second to get it off.
No way.
Yeah, and then he gets it off and throws it down and gets back on the bike, and he was slow when he got back on the bike there, like not slow and wobbly like, oh man, he should not have been on the bike, because I don't want anybody to think that.
Yeah.
But he definitely
Like he took a knee to the bar or something.
Yeah, he was cautious there for the first little while. And I watched and I was like, oh, this is gonna be real bad. Then he started picking back up, and I was kind of keeping an eye on it, like where he was on the
thing
board.
is he didn't get back up in charge.
No.
Like,
No.
He just kind of was like, all right, well, piss this one away.
It was funny though, because he had a line going down the right side of the whoops that was fast, skimming, that nobody else had. Like, I don't know why nobody else was going there, but he went to the right side of that main and was skimming. So I don't know.
The saga continues.
Like I said, and we'll say it again and again and again. But I'm gonna press the panic button there. But if he does put 2 together, I think he'll break this mental stranglehold he has on himself. But right now, I really think it's mental.
Yeah, well, the other thing I thought was interesting from Race Day Live, they had 7 Deuce Deuce on there, and 7 Deuce Deuce was like,
man, dude.
yeah, they did something to make that bike a little more rigid. They got a special part on it or something. And I'm sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, he wants this bike more rigid, but the rumor of him going to KTM, that's not a rigid bike.
No.
That might not be good if that's true.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I was hoping to run into him after the race, but we went by the Honda trucks on the way out, and nobody was there.
What were you gonna say to him?
I don't know, but I was gonna walk up and talk to him because I know he'll talk to anybody after the race. So
Maybe not after that race.
I don't know, man. He's been doing a lot of media. He's doing all the right things still with the media, but man, dude, it is
Gotta be hard.
it
Gotta
has
be
to
hard.
be. So, all right. So Josh Hill, 11th there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dean Wilson hit the deck a couple of times last night.
Yeah,
12th.
usually he's a shoe-in on my fantasy team, and when I seen him not qualify at all in the second practice, I was like,
Yeah.
maybe he caught his knee in a rut or something.
Yeah, who knows? Shane Sins is 13th.
Hey.
Chiz comes back off the couch this week for 4. Did you see he won the fantasy overall last week?
Chiz.
Yeah, or won the Industry Idiots? Yeah.
Chiz.
With Chized.
Yeah, he got the Colt Nichols jersey.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And, dude, for being beat up, he just comes back and gets a, what, 16th? 14th? What place did he get? 14th?
Yeah, 14th. Yeah. Yeah, because at one point I looked who was ahead of Kev because I was keeping an eye on him, and I was like, okay, Norin, and because he was battling with Norin, and then it was Chiz, and then I'm looking, I'm like, dude, Chiz is straight away and a half ahead. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, so Freddie gets 15th, Kev gets 16th, and they were battling like as they're getting lapped, and I'm like, oh please don't get in the way too bad. Please don't get in the way too bad. You know, like that's just a terrible feeling for these guys. And him and Freddie were battling, and then all of a sudden, and Harlan was a little bit ahead of him, and then all of a sudden I see Harlan behind him, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I guess Harlan went down. Yeah. And Kev just couldn't quite get Freddie. And I let him know that he should have got Freddie.
I mean, Freddie's a little more of an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
Rants and stuff, but people were probably pretty shook with their fantasy teams.
Well, dude, super awesome how he didn't qualify last week.
When you picked him?
Yup.
I didn't pick him this week. I'm like, dude, I just can't do it.
My 450 team was pretty sendy. I had 3 double-digit handicap guys, but they all made it in.
So was that fat zero on your 250
Shut up.
team.
We'll get to him. But Kev's still pretty pumped on a 16th place finish there.
That's career best?
No. He was 14th or something a couple weeks ago or maybe last year. He's had a 14th.
Oh, okay.
Here, I can check. Hold on a second here. Let's see here.
You're right.
Oh, he's 14th at Houston, dude.
Oh.
But still a good finish. Pumped 7 points. He's battling with Starling for 20th in points here for that guaranteed slot into the SMX races.
But that's outdoor too, right? They got to be top 20 outdoor, and
Starling's not going outdoors.
neither's Kev.
Depends.
Who's on 21st?
I don't know.
So
I haven't
it's
looked
gonna
at
be real
look,
interesting to
dude.
see which
We're
one
only
of
through
those
10.
two.
We're only through 10 rounds here. I'm not going there, but they are thinking of that. I guess him and Starling are thinking of that. So, Starling 17th.
Qualified really well.
Qualified really well. He's still pretty beat up from what I understand, and he didn't look pumped sitting over there after the main. So take that for what it's worth. I can go over and talk to him, but he did not look pumped.
Was he staring at Kev?
No. He was just sitting over there, just kind of defeated looking. You know, it wasn't great. But he was pitted like way in the back of the room by himself. It was super weird. Grant Harlan, like we said, had a tip over 18th. Josh Cartwright made it in the main 19th. Cade Clayson got in 20th. Joanne Cross.
Clayson crashed a couple times because he was on my team and really
Shit the bed for you?
I mean, he was a 12.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm having a rough season.
Oh.
This is a building year for us
how
here.
the turns have tabled.
I can't even explain. That right there is as rough as my season's going. Is words for you.
No, I said that on purpose.
It's not going great right
How
now.
the turns have tabled.
Whatever. Anyway, and Carnell and Carne Asada, 22nd.
Yeah, just had to wait for everybody to get hurt before he could get in there.
I don't know about that, but
yeah. You tell me Colt Nichols and Ferrandis come back, he's in the main.
yeah. Ferrandis wasn't there yesterday either. Interesting.
To park it. I hope they park him.
Neither was Colt Nichols, right?
Right.
Interesting.
But
So
bring those two back. Carnell is out.
probably yes. So, all right. Anything
How
else?
about the blue rims with John Cross?
Oh, I was not a fan of those. Diffie was down there helping him rebuild his bike after the night too. They were like the last ones in there when we left. Like we were like the second to last ones in there, and they were like the last ones. So, anything else 450 wise here?
No, dude, just hell of a night. Super pumped for Kenny.
That was a
and-
good race. The 250 is not as exciting, but this was a good one.
Yeah, super pumped to have good racing.
Yeah. Now we've got another guy on the board that has one, so now we're up to 4.
Kenny's locked in for SMX, so does he go into...
He's got options.
Oh, hang on. That means I'm going to add some more stuff to my rant here.
All right. Well, all right. So 450 race recap there, brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung like Justin Barsha. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back with a tinfoil hat, reload rant, comment of the week, and the 250 race recap. So we will be right back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Let's do a TLR tinfoil hat here. Cole, this is yours. You've got it this
I got
week.
2 of them. You want to take one?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I'll give one to you.
Okay. Thanks.
Well,
All right.
TLR?
TLR tinfoil hat.
Yes, my TLR tinfoil hat. I just grabbed some tinfoil out of the oven over there.
We could have actually made a tinfoil hat. I have it here.
We should actually.
Yeah, I've got the nice Reynolds wrap or Reynolds stuff too, so it's nice and thick. It'll make a good hat. We'll make one for next week.
Okay. Yep,
we can
yep.
pass it back and forth.
Pass
as
it back
we're
and
doing
forth. Yep. So, AC's wrist.
Oh boy.
So, didn't look like he got too tired. Looked like the wrist maybe didn't get numb.
Mm-hmm.
You think he went to Costa Rica?
I don't know. Should have asked him last night when I saw him on the way out.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that though. Now I'm going to. Now I'm going to have to this week if I see him.
I mean, yeah, 2 weeks gonna be, fly down there, get that thing worked on, and come back.
I don't know how fast stem cells work. Let me be honest with you. I don't know anything about it.
Is that what it is? That's why they can do stem cell stuff in Costa Rica?
I think so. They're in Tijuana. They can do it too.
So, that's where I'm at. I'm wondering if maybe he took a trip down there and got some work done, and the wrist brace is back. Mm-hmm. He wasn't wearing it. It's back. Maybe a little bit of support while he's healing still.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's interesting, though. We'll have to keep an eye on how it progresses here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I only got one then. I updated. I have 2 rants, though.
Oh, okay.
But that's my TLR tinfoil hat. I think
right.
maybe AC took a trip to Costa Rica.
Maybe. Look, if we see him this week, we'll ask.
Oh, God. I don't know if I want to be that guy.
Why?
I don't have the balls to ask him a question like that. I just hope he listens to this.
Absolutely not. But, I mean, it's one of those things we could ask.
Oh, well, hey, maybe I'll send my question into Pulp MX Show.
What?
We got featured.
There we go.
We got featured.
Do that. There you go.
Yeah.
Do that and see if we get featured again.
Yeah. They might not touch that one with a 40-foot pole.
Although we're only featured as Moto Aftermath, not Moto Aftermath Show. Is that what our Twitter handle is?
I don't even know what the handle is.
I don't even touch the
we
Twitter.
should do a segment, Tweet of the Week.
Do we get a lot? Do we get enough to do that?
I did that one where I screenshotted them and put them on the Instagram and got some good feedback. But, hang on a second. Oh, another thing. We're off topic right here. Carnow's tweet here. Any update on J.R. Reyes? I heard he was dead on the side of the
No
track.
idea. So where we sat, I couldn't see. He went off on a backboard. That's about all I know. Because we were up behind that berm.
Yeah, somebody said he was moving a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. My parents were watching the race last night too and texted me and asked. I'm like, I don't know. I can't see shit right now. So,
no, yeah. Here's my tweet of the weekend.
Okay. From us that we tweeted?
Yeah, I tweeted this out.
Okay.
So, I'm going to clip this, by the way. No, tweet of the weekend. Hayden Deegan
Oh, boy.
should get a butt patch that says clickbait on it. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool.
So.
That would be cool. All right. So TLR tinfoil hat there. That was that's a good one. That's
a good one
interesting.
there?
That's maybe we can confirm it next week.
I don't know who we can confirm it with.
Him.
Cooksey, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe if we see Nick Way.
Yeah, I'm not going to discuss that.
He's Michigan local. He's got to be a Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we
can make some calls. We'll try to figure this out. So, all right. Moving on to the Holster Co. Reload Rant. Brought to you by our friends at Holster Co.
Oh, you're getting all puffed up here.
I got a rant.
Okay,
So last night,
here we go.
and this is entertainment too, but it's not the best kind of entertainment. So last night, between heat races and LCQs, we got quite a while there. So we're sitting there watching track work and stuff, and
Ooh, I think I know what this is.
all of a sudden, yep, we hear this. So we're like in this corner, like if this is the stadium, it's long ways here. So we're down here in like this corner. All of a sudden we hear the crowd erupt over here in this corner. I turn around and I just see these dudes just throwing haymakers in the aisle. And I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. You see this on you see this on the internet, but you don't see it in real life.
Yeah.
And they are just throwing haymakers. And there's women standing, screaming at each other. Like you can see all this, right? And like 3 dudes, and like when these 3 dudes go to leave, the one dude who's throwing these haymakers looks like a kid. Like I say kid, probably like teenager kid, but from what I could see, and again, I'm across the stadium. Then this dude gets arrested. like literally these 3 dudes leave, and then there's all this, like, there wasn't any security or anything for like a while. It was super weird because in Indy they're usually pretty good. And then all of a sudden I see this dude getting arrested, and then there's still these two women standing there yelling at each other like 4 rows apart, like screaming and yelling, and they're waving. And then some kid's like mooning her, like that was funny.
What?
Yeah, like this kid like down farther, it's like screaming at this lady up top and like dude, I don't know. It was wild. But here's my rant, dude. You come to a thing, an event, and you pay hundreds of dollars to be there. And you're going to get thrown out in the first hour and like arrested and stuff for what? What are you fighting over?
I know what they were fighting over.
What?
The one guy said, "There's no way Kenny wins with a kickstart." And the other guy said, "I own a Suzuki, it can win."
I'm just sitting
And
there.
boom.
I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, I go to the race and I do not get tanked up anymore, like, or tuned up at all. So like, I don't have that piss and vinegar in me. So I'm there to watch, and there are thousands of people there that are not there to watch in the way I'm there to watch. But like, and like, I've dealt with these people.
It's
like
50-50.
They stand up in front of you during the race. They're coming, they're going, they're yelling, they're whatever. And it's like, but at no point am I like, you know what I'm going to do is punch this dude in the side of the head to shut him the hell up so I can watch the race. I'm just like, man, this is annoying. Now, we didn't have as much of that in industry seating here, but still, it's like at no point in all the years I've done this have I ever been like, I'm going to fight this guy at the stadium, because that seems like the thing to do. No. And we've seen this. We've seen it in like Buttery's vlogs and stuff too, of people fighting at the stadium.
Buttery's story right now, somebody sent him a clip from Indy.
Of the fight?
And it's on there. Oh, I've seen it too.
Oh, really?
Diffie's everywhere. Diffie,
Dude, I know.
Yeah.
It's just I'm down in the
we should
privateer.
get Diffie on.
I'm
Diffie would come
down
on.
in the privateer pits, and all of a sudden he's just there. And then, like I said, the end of the night, I'm leaving, and he's there wrenching on Joan Cross's bike, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
What
Diffie's
is
everywhere.
happening?
Yeah, we should get Diffie on.
Dude,
I think it'd be good to get him on.
And,
but-
and he has a video of this?
well, he put on Facebook, "Hey, anybody got a video of the fight?" And then somebody in the comments, like 3 videos.
Unreal.
Facebook.
Unreal. I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my race. Not my race day. That's my Holster Co. rant.
Oh, you
Ah,
slipped
I
up
screwed
too.
That's my Holster Co. rant. It's like, why are you fighting? Like, what are we doing?
We keep missing the Holster Co thing. Is Mr. Mike gonna be mad at us?
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have an option anyway.
Doesn't have an option to be
He
mad.
can be mad all he wants to. It's fine.
What if you reload rants on us?
I have plenty to reload also. It's fine.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. We're safe in that department. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. It blows my mind to see that kind of stuff. So, and I don't know about you, but I'm scrolling all the time, and like my one page I have, dude, it's some things I follow, and then it's like hockey fights, and then like random street fights, and I'm just like, everybody's fighting everywhere. I don't know when my day's gonna come that I'm gonna have to do this. I hope it's not anytime
I
soon,
ain't fighting.
because I don't like, once that side of me breaks loose, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to be in that situation, but I'm just like, dude, this is happening everywhere apparently, and now it's happening at Supercross.
It happens all the time at Supercrosses. People just don't get it on video. But now and more as this generation has come to be with their phones, I think you're seeing more and more stuff on video. Like as soon as something starts happening, the phones are out, and I think the phones are fuel.
Well, I'm gonna look up Diffie's thing here. You give us
Yeah.
your Holster Co. rant.
So my Holster Co. rant is about Ken Roxon.
Okay.
My reason being is Ken Roxon signed with Pipes Motorsports Group, Hemp Suzuki, to race World Supercross. That was the big issue. That's why he left $2.5 million on the table for Honda. World Supercross.
Okay.
It comes out this week that Ken Roxon is no longer doing World Supercross and just doing outdoors. I think that's kind of annoying. Like, what's the deal there? You make this big deal about World Supercross and like how that's going to be your thing, and you're just not going to do it now? What's up with that?
Maybe.
What do you got there?
Maybe. It's not that time yet. Let's see.
Well, what, do you think he just keeps changing the story? Oh, I'm not doing good outdoors, so I'm just going to bail and go to World?
I think that there is a lot Sorry, I'm watching fight videos now. I'm gonna go back to that later. They are on there. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well, after break here, I'm gonna have to go take a Wiz Khalifa.
Okay. Yeah, I think that there's only a couple rounds of outdoors he can't do with what's it called? With the World Supercross rounds. I believe, and now here's the thing. He has won a race. So he's
locked in.
According to what we know, and I'm air quoting this for our listeners who aren't watching, he's in. So he doesn't have to race outdoors now. Before, I think it was kind of one of those things of like, I'm going to go do all the outdoor rounds I can because I want to be in this because he wants to get, I think he wants money.
So now you think after this win here, he may change the story again?
Would not surprise me.
See, I don't like the story changing all the time. I don't like that.
The problem is that if it wasn't if the groups were not fighting, World Supercross and the Feld MX Sports guys, I don't think this would be as big of a deal. But because they're fighting, that's why it's a big deal.
All right. Yeah, maybe they were like, "Hey, this is what you're gonna say."
Speaking of World Supercross, in the Max Anstey interview, did you see our boy Issac clip that Anstey interview? Mm-hmm. That section, put it up. World Supercross retweeted it.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Isaac texted me. He goes, "Dude, I got a tweet blowing up," and I'm like, "Sweet dude, what is it?" He's like, "I clipped the Anstey interview, and World Supercross retweeted it." I'm like, "No way."
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool.
Awesome. So, all right, what's your other rant?
Race Day Live, bro.
Was bad this week?
Race Day Live was a cancer this week.
Oh boy.
Audio,
Terrible.
not a thing. They had the audio so messed up that it's like they didn't turn the mic up for the people talking, and you could hear the echo in the stadium because Race Day Live was playing on the stadium. Mm-hmm. So you're hearing people talking, but you're hearing the echo in the stadium as well. And then Clinton Fowler came on, did Fowler's Facts. Mm-hmm. None of the mics were on. He's on there just talking. And then it went out to the riding. Mm-hmm. Bike noise. Like, the bike noise was on max volume. And
No, you couldn't hear anything else.
Dude.
Race Day Live's way off this year.
Oh, man, it's so frustrating. And, God, a guy like Blair's got to be kicking himself because
Yeah.
that ain't the standard that Blair works to. So,
No.
if anybody can get it fixed, it's him.
Yeah.
But the sound guy definitely must have missed his flight or something because he was non-existent, not doing his job. Something was wrong.
I was going to say, there were a couple times in the stadium that they missed turning on the mic for interviews at the beginning because it's like you can see the chick or whoever talking in the mic right before they hand it to the rider, and it's like there's nothing, all of a sudden it's like
Yeah, whatever was
So-
going on with the audio this weekend was not good, and it's not a good look for our sport.
Was
Like,
it bad during the race itself?
I feel like the volume was a little high on the race too, a little more bike
I'm gonna have
noise.
to watch the race and see. I will tell you that I don't think with Race Day Live it's as big of a deal. And they've talked about
It
this
should
on
be.
Pulp, but again, they've talked about this on Pulp. The casual fan that we're trying to draw into the sport is not watching Race Day Live. We are watching Race Day Live. The hardcore people are watching it, and we, even though we're gonna complain about the audio,
We're still gonna watch.
we're still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Because we need that fill during the day. So I don't think that's the end of the world at this point because it isn't big enough to be.
Oh, man, but still, like, what if the casual viewer does turn that on?
Yeah.
and it's like, what is this clown show?
Yeah. I do. So some positives I do like about Race Day Live at this point with some of the stuff they're doing this year. Number one, I do like that they're interviewing guys more. They're doing some pre-recorded interviews. I like that. And I do like that they're bringing on Clinton Fowler for the Fowler's Facts or whatever.
I like that.
I like that a lot. So we'll see. Like they're moving in the right direction there towards making it a more professional pre-race show. I do think we still need some more talking head stuff per se. But and again, this comes down to a thing where, like, I think you can bring on some guys like Steve Mathis and stuff like that to do sections, and again, it comes back to, you've got that desk for Race Day Live or whatever, and I guess I haven't paid close enough attention But if the desk doesn't actually say race day live, why are we not using that? Like I've said before during the Triple
Put some
Crowns
sponsorship
to do an analysis in between, just like we would
like a halftime show.
Yeah, or in between periods at a hockey game where they send it back to the studio and they break down stuff that's happened and talk about maybe other stuff that's going on around in some of the different games or whatever. I think that would work great, and even having Clinton Fowler on there, because he has become a big deal around there. Because I saw him on the floor for free practice this week. He was down on the floor, so.
But him too. I tweeted it at him, and I think it'd be real interesting to see the TV numbers and all that stuff. I think I told you this already.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't have access or something. So.
Yeah,
But
he probably does.
he will eventually.
But putting it out publicly, I don't think is going to be a thing.
I think they need to, though. It gives everybody another talking point.
I think we can find it out, but not till the end of the year here. They won't have numbers for this year. I have last year's numbers. I can get last year's numbers, no problem. But this year it'll be interesting to see. So, all right, was that it for your rants then? That was 2, right?
That's it, man. Yeah.
All right, cool.
A little bit of a break here.
Holster Co. Reload rant for things that go bang bang and boom boom, and things that hold the things that go bang bang and boom boom. Look them up. Little discount code down in the description.
You know who
there.
needs a Holster Co?
Who?
Justin Barsham.
Oh my gosh. Before we take one more break here, before we bust into the 250 race recap here, let's do our Complete Racing Solutions comment of the week.
Let her rip.
Comment of the week here, coming from Alec Davis. When are you guys going to face the fact that Chase is fast on a perfect track, but when it gets rough, he is not? Stop saying he's the fastest because of qualifying. Yes, some races he is, but when you guys said he was the fastest in Houston is ridiculous. He literally had how long to pass Eli? And what happened? Eli walked away. When the track gets rough, Eli smokes everyone. You might want to go back and edit this comment now that we've seen Eli ride this weekend.
Yeah.
But thank you for your comment, Alec. Really appreciate it. And just going to say that you are absolutely been proven wrong this weekend, because Eli also did not ride great on probably the roughest track of the year at this point. So if you would like your comment featured, make sure to comment more. You can comment on Instagram. You can comment on YouTube. I go through them all every week, and I try to pick out the best one and comment down below about the comment. So, okay, I guess we're going to take one more break, and then we'll come back with the 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Adept Creative Co. And then
Stock options.
And then we'll do stock options, and we'll get this all wrapped up. So
All
we'll be right back again. All right, and we're back for the last time here. So 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Adept Creative Co. All your graphics needs. They make sick, high-quality graphics. They can do a bunch of different stuff for you. They've got a ton of different designs, so make sure to check them out. Links in the description below, along with a slight discount link down there. So if you need some graphics there for this upcoming riding season, there you go. They're your people. All right, here we go. 250 race recap. So one thing I did not change in my notes, Hunter is still fully in control of this 250 title.
Yes, he is.
So...
flawless race. Pretty boring 250 race
It was.
last night, to be honest.
Luckily, I had
Pulp MX Fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy going on there. So I did have one dude in the LCQ I was watching pretty closely, and then I was kind of trying to keep track of my guys in the main. Did you watch the post race interviews that the Supercross did? So they interviewed the 250 manager for Star. And they kind of brought it up about the Hunter Thrasher thing from last weekend. And Thrasher, in my opinion, has been doing all the right things.
He's been handling it very well.
Very well. Of like, it's just racing. I shouldn't have been in that position. I got to be better at rebounding. I do believe that there is still the opportunity, if it's there, for him to go back at Hunter. And Hunter won't be able to say shit. But he's not going out looking to do that. He's making it very clear he's not that kind of rider. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you better be careful with how much you pronounce that, because guys will take advantage of that.
Hunter will take advantage of that.
Hunter
I
will.
thought the same thing. I was like, Hunter's probably sitting there, and it's a confidence boost for him. He's like, this guy's, for a lack of a better term, a pussy. Yeah. I got him.
The Star manager, though, did bring up, I can't remember the guy's name, sorry. He did bring up, well, Hunter has a history of riding like this. And he did not exactly say that it was a dirty move or anything like that. But he made it very clear in his interview. He has a history of this, and he is willing to do things like this. And he actually made the description of, he's not quite Barsha status, but he has a history of doing these things, which is true.
Justin Cooper, Des Nations.
Justin Cooper, Des Nations, Joe Shimoda Outdoors, him in the Styles situation outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, there are lots of different things with him and people coming together. So he needs to be careful with that. And it's been talked about on other shows of you don't want to have a bunch of guys out there as you're trying to win this title. Now he's way more in control of this title than now. And last night that ride was impressive. He went out whole shotted and just rode perfectly all
Thrasher
night.
was behind him. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I thought the same
Thrasher
thing.
Couldn't catch him.
Nope. But him, Thrasher, and Smith all rode great races, and none of them made a mistake, which was impressive. Especially Smith. Oh man,
the whoops land there.
I was waiting.
There was only one star guy that made a mistake.
We'll get to him. So so we've basically touched on all the top three. I mean, Thrasher's still in this points race if something happens, but if nothing happens to Hunter, and that is another thing that the star manager brought up. He's like, it's hard when you've got Thrasher. He's like, when you've got Nate going out there going 100%, and you've got Hunter beating him, and he's like, you can tell Hunter's not riding 100%. He's putting in like 85%. There's more in the tank.
Yeah.
So these guys know that he is ready to be there. So
when's the first shootout?
not until East Rutherford. So it's
I think
the second or third to last round. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know, man. I mean, he looked good. Oh man, I forgot to do that in 450s. I should have done that. We'll get to that. But anyway, yeah, man, it was a good ride by him.
Yeah.
It was a good ride by Thrasher, and it was a good ride by Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Smith. I thought when I saw that track, I was like, oh, Smith is gonna weed
Going
it
down so
somewhere.
many times.
But good for Jordan Smith, man.
Yep.
He needs that. He's a super talented guy that, he should have a place in this sport.
He's only got a 1-year deal, though, doesn't he? So what does he do if he doesn't?
I think he's earning his way in, but man, Star's loaded. Where does he go?
I don't know. Club? Does he go to club?
Who's out the door at club? Phil?
J-Mart?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe J-Mart will finally get a shot at that cow. Nope, just kidding. Fortner's in the pipe.
Yeah. So J-Mart gets fourth, gets his payback, passes Deegan. He's just laughing in his interviews because he's like, me and that kid always find each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm so pissed every time I come around a corner and all I see is Deegan on the back of the Alpine Stars helmet. I'm just mad about it. So
Yeah, he's like, this guy should not be in front of me kind of thing.
I don't think he's quite like that. He's like, dude, that kid, he's like, he's fast and he is full of send, which he is. And like I said, we'll get to this. But that was a good ride by J-Mart last night.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for him to be outdoors, dude.
Have you been watching the Club Life stuff?
I need to catch up on it.
I watched the Daytona one yesterday, and dude, they are not scared to put stuff out. And they were there is clips in there of J-Mart in the truck, and he is just like, I cannot do any more than I am right now. They're struggling with bike setup for him a little bit, which is super interesting. In fact,
I'm glad it's so raw like that. And that's the thing
me too.
is and Jeremy said that, like, there's some stuff where we even had to tell Brandon, like, that's too raw.
Yeah. Like I saw Brandon, whoever the mechanic is, I can't think of his name right now. And somebody else standing outside the truck yesterday, after the pits were closed, so it wasn't busy, it was just them. And I should have said, yo, whatever you guys are doing with the videos, keep doing it because it's awesome.
Yeah, apparently that's a muck-off thing. Muck-off wants it.
Well, I didn't say that. I should have. Again, this is one of those things where it's like hard because like I'm not really friends with them, but like I obviously pay attention to everything in the industry super, super close. So it's like what you guys are doing is awesome, which is what I told AJ's guy last night too. Did you watch his video from last week?
I don't watch any of his videos.
Go watch his Daytona video because it's not a vlog. It's better than that, in my opinion. It is. It's a story about the race, and it is super. As his race from his point of view type deal. It's very much more cinematic, and as cameraman Cam put it, which shout out, it was nice meeting you last night, man. It's a video that's on YouTube that they don't want to look like it's supposed to be on YouTube.
Oh, interesting. I guess I'll have to look
They're-
at it.
they're really-
Speaking of production value,
Yeah.
Axel Hodges' stuff has stepped up quite a bit. He finally
Has it?
hired a filmer.
Did he?
Yeah, and
I don't
his
know. I
shit,
haven't
his
watched
shit's
it.
pretty good.
I don't watch his stuff that much, so.
Dude, his personality's kind of like Cali brah, you know. And
Buttery,
just,
brah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm not 100% on board with that, but dude, he does some cool shit. And then like the effects in the video and like the production value has
Yeah.
definitely stepped up because he was just doing it all on an iPhone and everything.
Yeah.
And now, like in the beginning, it's a sleigh with lightning bolts and shit going everywhere. It's kind of
I
sweet.
think that's his brother, Dirt Shark.
No,
No.
but I think they got the same guy doing the visuals
Doing
for
the
Dirt
visuals.
because they
Do
do
you
some
watch-
cool visuals.
do you
That
watch
Daytona one was sweet.
Do you watch Kev's stuff?
Is he getting his stuff getting sweet too?
Yes. Go watch the last couple of weeks, and he got some audio of the Supercross guy announcing his name and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like the Deegan intro.
Yes.
The Deegan intro's hard too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff stepping up.
Yeah, it is. It's getting better. So,
We're not though.
Huh?
Nothing.
We're working.
Yeah,
on it.
we're getting there.
I've got. Do you know what this is right here?
That's the list.
This is the
Well,
list.
here's the thing though: is these guys have been doing it, and you can watch it get better. Them reinvesting in themselves.
Yeah.
Which
For
hope,
sure.
I hope the viewers have seen that with us. Mm-hmm. So
We're trying. I mean, we're doing the multi-angle, and we're trying to
Yeah.
step up that part of it too. Which I
Yeah.
actually was talking with Kev's dad about the list of stuff to do this better, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea." So. We're probably going to have to do that soon here. Although I spent a bunch of my PayPal money on riding scooters around. Oh, man.
yeah.
So, all right. So fifth place, Max Anstey. That was rough on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
He said, though, he just didn't have it. The track was rough. He'd never been to Indy before. So that was interesting. But he's in there just milking away this 250 class.
Top 5 bonus.
Top 5
You
bonus,
think he got
baby.
$1,500?
Probably got $1,500 for a top 5
You
bonus.
think he got more?
I don't know.
I'll ask him.
All right.
I'd ask him. Hey, you get more than
I-
1,500 for that fifth last week?
He is one person I did not see yesterday at all. So, but oh wait, no, I actually did. So I was in the pits when they were going in for like opening ceremony stuff or whatever, and I think I have a video of Dino riding by, and then I screwed up when Anstey was going by, and I like double clicked the thing. So of course I looked down as he's going by, and I think he like gave a nod to the camera or to the phone or whatever, and like of course I don't have it, so it's like
Oh,
sweet.
you stood up at the tunnel and watched him ride?
No,
in?
I didn't stand up at the tunnel. I was up in the pits.
Could you get in the tunnel?
I was supposed to be able to get in the tunnel
Yeah.
that they went in. However, it was interesting where you could and couldn't go with the wristbands and how they were doing it throughout the day. I went through the tunnel in the morning, and then I could not get through it the rest of the day until after the event.
Interesting.
It was super weird. So anyway,
Sixth place.
sixth place, Chris Blows. Put him on my fantasy
Zombie,
team. Dude,
baby.
he was feisty yesterday.
He's slowly getting better.
Slowly.
It's good to see a Kawasaki at the front.
Dude,
It's
it
been
was.
a long time since we've seen a pro circuit.
That
bike
was a
toward the
good
front.
heat race for him, dude. Like this is going well. So, do I think it spirals into anything? No,
Do you think Zombie's on a caloric deficit?
no, no, absolutely not. He is a father. There's no caloric deficit there. In fact, he could be on a caloric deficit and he still is going to be chunky because the stress of being a father is just unreal.
Yeah.
So, but it is good to see him like starting to make waves and like get up there and at least battle and stuff. And
Yeah.
like qualifying was good, which is why he ended up because I didn't have him on fantasy.
I'm mind blown
They-
that he was still not an all-star.
It's been rough. He has been. Let's just take a look at this here real quick.
But he's been in the top 10 like the last 2 rounds.
Sixth place last night. So 6, 7, 9, 13, 10. So it hasn't been
That's
great.
Close, though. Everybody else has just been.
Yeah,
that much
but
more
you figure the
consistent.
top 8 is like very consistent and getting wins type stuff. So, but dude, that was a good ride. Hopefully he carries it forward. I hope he does well in Detroit here. So that was cool to see.
Zombie.
Seventh place here. Here comes our 3 minutes about Deegan rant.
I'm gonna be Justin Hartzell.
Oh boy. Okay, go ahead.
He sucks in the whoops.
It's whoop speed. Shit. No. So I will tell you, I watched him a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, they do show him on TV a lot. But you don't get to watch the entire race. So I was like, you know what? Because by the time we got to the races, I was like starting to dial in on what I was going to focus on. It's always an interesting thing. I don't know if this works for you. When we haven't been to the races in forever, and then you go, it's hard to focus at first because
On
there's
one person.
so much, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, I just want to watch
it's like,
everybody.
who do I want to watch?
Yeah, so then when you get to a point where you see it, which is part of the reason why it's like, man, if I could go to 5 or 6 of these races, it would be easier to dial in some stuff to do. But anyway, he is fast. And like, I don't know if he's riding 100%, but he is fast.
His corner speed's insane.
He is also loose. He was sketchy.
I like the style thing about him though too, because
The
I
style
love guys
is
throwing
sweet.
style in there. And he said the Daytona thing. He's like, yeah, I just want to throw a whip off the triple.
Dude, he was whipping it off the finish line jump last night. It was sick. But
yeah, I like the style thing of it, and dude, pretty good interview and on camera and stuff like
He's
with
really
some of the
good.
media. He's been very good.
he's very good with it. He's very good. He is part of the future of the sport here. But
and
like I said,
again, that's a lot of credit and respect to Brian. He
100%.
he built something from the ground up.
I was talking to Sater from Clutch yesterday, and I missed getting the video of him coming out of the pits to go in for opening ceremonies. But I was not going to be that fanboy that ran over to get that video. I wanted that video.
You wanted the views.
I wanted the video for the views, but I missed it. How am I supposed to pay for his dinner if I don't get the views from him? You know?
Hey, just ride by me in Detroit so I can pay for your dinner.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he, like I said, fast but loose. There were a lot of times in the whoops. So it doesn't surprise me that the whoops jumped up and grabbed him because he was their battle. He wanted that top 5 bad. You could tell he's not pushing to podium or win at this point. He is being very smart about it, of keeping himself on kind of that even plane of like, we're just here to learn. We're just here to see what happens. Although I fully think, I give it a 99% chance he rides West Coast next year, because there is no way they do not put him on West Coast unless he's hurt next year. All the hype and stuff around him, there is no way he does not ride
build it up at
West.
the first round kind of thing.
Yeah. In fact, I will almost bet you that if Hunter wins the East this year, I bet Hunter rides West too.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, but you could tell it got like, once J-Mart got to him and stuff, he wanted that 5th place and he was pushing to keep it there.
Well, the whoop thing too is this goes back to my rant last week. He ain't riding a track with whoops that beat up.
No.
That's the
And
first time
J-Mart said those whoops were big, and they did look, I will
They
say in
spread 'em out
practice
further than
sitting
what they
there,
had.
they looked big. They were tall. So
Yeah, and they were spread further apart than.
I think they were
Anytime.
dozer whoops though.
Well, they were 16 foot apart instead of the normal.
Who said that?
13 or whatever. It was a pre-race thing that I saw. Probably race day last.
You think they probably purposely built them that way though, because they knew they were going to
it was
break
gonna
down.
Yeah.
And like I said, they were dozer. I saw somewhere they were building them with a dozer, which is the first set of dozer whoops we've had this year. Yeah. And the dozer whoops do have to be farther apart and bigger because you can't get in there with the dozer the way you can with everything else. So again, I don't think it was a bad ride out of him. He's out. He's not in top 3 in points anymore. So everybody, calm down there. Everybody that was talking in the comments about, oh, he's top
Is
3
Jordan
in points
Smith in
again.
front
He's
of him
top
now?
3 in points. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
Justin's
know.
fired up.
He's 5th.
Jordan Smith's where?
Hold on. Great radio here. Jordan Smith is 4th.
Got him. Oh.
Yep.
Justin's looking right.
Yeah, so it's got to be like Hunter, Anstey, Thrasher, Hunter, Thrasher, Anstey, something like that, and then Jordan Smith and Hayden Deegan. Which again, top 5 in points at 16 years old, when you weren't supposed to ride Supercross anyway, but you were like, screw it, we're just gonna go do it here and get the practice because we're not gonna learn anything more in amateurs. Great, I think this is great.
So I do have to talk shit about the fans at least. Once,
Okay, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Deegan fans, here we go. Comment down below your thoughts on Cole's thoughts.
Listen, man, I just want the Deegan fans to pump the brakes a little bit. You know, rookie doing so great, winning championship or whatever. I want you guys to go back and look at Trey Kennard. Won his first race as a rookie, won his second race as a rookie, and won his championship as a rookie. I want people to go back and look at that.
I have a thing. I saw this on the internet the other day, and I screenshotted it. It is James Stewart, Jet, and Hayden's first 4 races in the 250 class. Jet, 11, 9, 5, 9. Okay?
Not great.
Hayden, 4, 4, 8, 3.
Better.
Stu. 2-1-2-1. So
What
anybody...
was Trey Kennard? So did Trey Kennard.
They don't have Trey. They just had those 3.
Trey was like 1-1-2-1. Won the title, too.
So anybody who is comparing him to James Stewart, just stop. You
Yes.
sound like an idiot.
Now, you could compare him to Jet.
You could compare
There's
him to
an
Jet.
argument there.
There's an argument there. We'll have to see next year too, and again when you go skill for skill, I'm still giving the edge to Jet. But I'm a Jet homer, so we'll see. But Hayden's going to be good, and him and Hayden are going to battle cuz
I like everything that comes with Hayden.
I also do not think that Hayden will be in the 250 class for that many years unless injuries start to come, unless he starts to get injured. But outside of that, I think you're going to see him next year and then maybe the year after that. And then I'll bet you he's 450 by the time he's 20 also.
Yeah, now, another Hayden thing is he hasn't had many injuries through the years,
I don't
has
think
he?
so.
So
It'll be interesting if he does get one, which hopefully he doesn't. I don't want to see any of these guys. Every time when I'm sitting there watching and my fantasy guys need a spot, I'm like, oh man, I really need so-and-so to crash. Not get hurt. We don't want any injuries.
We just want
but
a
a
tuck
tip.
front.
We want a tucked front end with a tip over in the corner, and we're good. That's
Yeah.
it. And I very clearly say that in my head because I'm like, I do not need that bad juju. I do not want to see anybody get hurt. They can even yard sale as long as they don't get hurt. Like I don't care if the bikes get screwed up. Like bikes you can replace. We don't need to see anybody get hurt. But sometimes I just need some people to drop back a few spots.
dude, speaking of that, thank you, Hunter Lawrence, for just pimp smacking Brock Pappy. So and just or pimp slapping Brock
Yeah.
Pappy and knocking his clutch lever off so Jeremy Hand could get another spot.
That was awesome. That was awesome. That was everybody. The stadium got loud for that too. So
Oh, he pimp slapped him hard.
he did. All right. Let's move on here. Tom Bial had a crash, 8th place.
God, I hope he's good for outdoors.
He's another one. I don't know if you've listened to his interviews here. He is very much here just to learn this year.
I
So
think he's doing a hell of a job
I think he is
for
too.
a guy that's been riding Supercross for 4 months.
Yep. Oh man, though
You can
I'll
tell in the
you-
whoops.
I will tell you what though. I am very tired of hearing that. I don't know how many times we heard that in the stadium yesterday.
Yeah, he's only been riding.
Only been riding for 4 months.
Oh.
Only been riding Supercross for 4 months. Only been riding Supercross for 4 months. He's a 2-time world champ, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I know Supercross is different. Yes, we all agree on that. But the guy can ride.
Yeah, he's a good fucking rider.
It's not me coming out of the stands and getting on that track. I did have a guy yesterday ask me during qualifying, what's it take to get into something like this? Because he's like, the talent level really falls off between like the A and the C group. And I'm like, well, you got to go do some races and earn some points. You can't just show up and do it. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Ashley's like, I think he thought that maybe you could just show up and do this. I'm like, I don't know. I explained it to him as best I
Some
could.
of those guys like somehow just show up and do it.
Yeah. But I'm like, I also got to say, and yesterday, yes, the track was really, really bad. But watching some of those C group guys, I'm like, having done this
Go
now.
get a job.
Yeah, I'm literally like, I'm not saying that I'm anywhere on your level, but after a year of riding Supercross, I might be able to go around the track like you do. Like my big thing right now is like, I don't want to jump the triple because it's big.
Do it for the gram, bro.
But it's like, if I could do it, it's like, I don't know that I would beat, because it's like when you get to C groups, and again, these guys are all gnarly, and they probably still would make me look stupid, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of doubling through rhythm sections.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I know for a fact I could double through a rhythm
Yeah.
section, but
I 100% believe you could
But-
too. I know.
again, it's different.
It's different.
It's different
It
when
is.
you're actually
but
out
man,
there.
it's you watch it and that guy was not wrong. The talent level falls off tremendously between A
A
and
lot of
C
those
group.
guys are just doing it for the Instagram bio,
I know,
bro.
I know. Throwback to an old rant. Colin Park 9th. He wasn't super stoked on his ride. He was moving forward, and then I think he said he got tight or something. I saw an interview with him.
I definitely on my fantasy team picked all the Club MX guys because I know they're riding tracks like that.
The Club MX or the Phoenix guys? Oh, you mean the guys that ride at Club MX?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jace Owen,
Yeah,
Colin
yep.
Park,
Yep.
like
Yep. Cody Shock 10th, Jace Owen 11th.
yeah, 3 Club MX boys right there in a
Yep.
row.
Henry Miller 12th.
I think he's club too.
Michael Hicks, who I did not put on my fantasy team. Like, what the hell?
He's finally starting to put it together.
I was gonna say I looked at him. Did you see he put up an Instagram post of his box van? Yeah, dude,
think sick.
sweet.
I think he comes from some money.
I don't know, but that box van's sweet.
He had like 8 bikes and a pit
Oh,
bike
yeah.
and a Sur-Ron and
Well, I mean, he's won how many arena cross titles? Like, you don't
for
think?
paying for all that.
I mean, I don't know that it's paying for it, but you don't think he's getting help from whoever, and maybe that's what's getting him that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Either way, it's badass.
Yeah. Marshall Welton sat up by his must be entire family last night because they were stoked when he qualified in there.
Oh yeah, they'll be loud and proud for him at Ford Field.
Yeah,
Hometown boy.
14th, so that was pretty good. Talon Hawkins. We go from Deegan, who was ready to go, and Talon Hawkins, not so sure that this was the best idea.
Haven't liked that signing since the beginning because I've never seen Talon Hawkins do anything at Loretta's. Never do anything besides maybe the Cal Classic out in California.
Yeah. Is it him or the other Husky guy that Stu's real high on?
Who?
The other Husky kid that's still amateur.
Cochran?
Yeah. I can't remember which one. One of them he's real high on. He's real high.
Who is?
Stu. James Stewart.
Really?
Talked about him in the thing. Yep.
Might be Cochran. He's a Florida kid, I think.
I don't remember if it was him or not. Maybe it was Talon Hawkins.
I don't know.
I think it
Hawkins
was.
I've just seen do whips in his backyard, Axel Hodges style, and I always wanted to almost think it was like a pay-to-play kind of thing that Coach talks about.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, it's rough. As sketchy as Deegan was through the whoops, Hawkins was twice as sketchy yesterday,
I don't
dude.
think he was ready.
No, he wasn't. He was thrown in strictly for the fact of what's his nuts got hurt.
Yeah, but kudos to him.
Yeah, but he's out there doing it,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah. I'm not ready to...
Throw the towel in yet?
Completely dump on his chest.
But here's the thing, and we've talked about this before. It's not good for these kids to come in and get shit on like this because let's face it, him going out here and getting let me look at his finishes.
Oh,
here.
he's getting Cleveland steamered right now. That's for sure.
15, 18, 13, 19, 11.
Cleveland steamer.
That's not great. Like the 11's okay, and if he was floating around, say 10 to 15,
Daytona, he was kind of floating around there too, and a tough block got him.
But when you're going 19, 18, 15, and going through the LCQ to get in there, it's rough. That's rough. And I just hope that team is patient with him because they did throw him in here.
I hope they're patient too.
Yep. Burping. Your boy Jeremy Hand, 16th.
Jeremy hand job, just stroking his way through the pack.
Caden Braswell, 17th.
How are we feeling on that?
He's a strange
Horizon
dude.
Award?
That interview that he gave in the stadium after winning that LCQ, he talks very slowly.
Like
And
this?
it's strange. Nice kid from what I can tell. Strange.
Maybe he was nervous?
I'm not really sure, man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that team per se.
I'm ready. I want to see him outdoors because he came out of nowhere and won Loretta's.
What's he done in arena cross?
Oh,
Do they have those results on here?
I don't think he did arena cross.
He hasn't been doing. Hasn't done the
I don't
arena
believe so,
crosses
no.
with the team.
I don't believe
I
so.
thought he was.
I don't believe so.
I don't know. That's another one that's kind of like this isn't going great, but I don't know what the deal is with that team. So wait, see. Any idea who Lane Allison is?
No.
Scored 46 fantasy points last night. No idea. And whoever picked him,
Very
go screw yourselves.
Probably his mom and dad.
Yeah, probably.
But dude, yeah, I don't know where he came from, but dude, distant fourth and all by himself in fourth to get in the LCQ.
Yeah, sweet. Would have been awesome to have him on the team, but no idea. AJ Catanzaro, 19th. I did have him on. I almost pulled him off my fantasy
Oh, I
team.
bet you did. You're a homer.
Well, Q2, he got off the bike. First off, dude, he was moving in qualifying. You cannot tell me he wasn't. He qualified super well, but like Q2, he gets off he puts in a decent time, and the next thing he's over like grabbing the spokes of his wheels and like
I don't
looking at
like
the
that
bike, and I'm
stuff,
like,
dude.
what are you doing,
I
man?
don't like that because to me it's a I'm not putting in a good lap. Let me blame the bike. Let
But
me
he
blame
did.
a lapper.
He was on the top of the board.
Right. And then he was going for a heater and then made a mistake and then pulled off and acted like the bike was messed up. And then he was going through the whoops, had plenty of room to go around Brighton Carroll.
Yeah.
And then pulled off, went like this to him, and then went into the other corner and put it on the rev limiter, showed him a reel. I'm like, dude, you're on top of the board. Chill out.
He is almost too analytical anymore with his
Or
riding.
he went to put in a heater,
yeah.
put one in, didn't better his time. There was still 3 minutes left on the board. Didn't do it. Pulled off, threw his hands in the air like a little baby, and somebody got on the back of the bike. Like I'm not a fan of that stuff. I don't know why.
I don't know, man.
Like, you're on top of the board.
It's interesting, and he's doing it now. He's being very transparent in his stuff. Again, you haven't been watching his stuff. He's being very transparent that like his reasons for riding or racing are much different than what everybody else is.
Oh,
you
so
know?
He said tax write-off, but not tax write-off?
No,
Oh.
he didn't say that. But, I think at this point, he's kind of like me riding Supercross. He's just trying to prove it to himself that he can still do it and be somewhat competitive at it. Which the thing is like if you look at like his qualifying times and stuff, he can still ride.
Oh,
he can still very much ride, and he's better than a lot of these kids. The
I
problem
want to
is
see him in the A group, though.
the problem is he's got too much going on, and so he is like I said, he's too analytical at this point to go out there and just turn his brain off and go, which is good and bad, but it hurts him in his results at the end of the night. But as long as you like know that going in, and like last night he was a 15 handicap, so I'm like, he'll make the main. Like, there's no question, because he's going to be out there when the track's still pretty fresh, which means he can probably throw it down, especially with the way his qualifying was in the heat race, and get in. And that's exactly what he did. So, and, once he's in and you're a 15 handicap, okay, cool.
Yeah,
now
see,
at a minimum,
that
you're...
stuff worries me. But the 15, I look at like fantasy purpose for another time.
Yeah.
But I've seen him make it and then like triple crowns, third one, just let everybody go and roll off the gate. So maybe he is a 12 handicap.
No,
but
so
he ain't
okay,
scoring points.
so back up though. That Triple Crown. This is where it comes. This is where I like watching these guys' stuff, because sometimes you get some insights. He didn't just roll off and let everyone go. He jumped the gate. His dad told him, "Hey man, they're dropping the gate on 3," and he was like, "Well, I got nothing to lose." So he's like, "I counted to 3 and went, and the gate didn't go." So that's what happened. And if you watch his vlog, you can see he moves. The gate doesn't drop, and then everybody goes, and then he goes.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
a
it
hater.
wasn't.
I'm just a hater.
You are, but it's okay. So it wasn't just. It wasn't just rolling off. It wasn't just letting everybody go and rolling off. It was. It was very much he tried to jump the gate to get a good start, and just whatever. But he's also not one, and this happened last week in Daytona. If it gets sketchy, he doesn't. So like last week in Daytona, and I'm not a huge fan of this. I do like AJ. No matter what everybody else says, I do like AJ, but like last week in Daytona, he goes out for the LCQ and he gets bumped into like a few different times in the first lap because he didn't get a great start in that either, and he just said screw it and pulled off. Now, luckily, last week he wasn't on my fantasy team or whatever, because that would have pissed me off, but I'm like, dude, that's for the fans, for yourself, for everything. Like, I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. Because, like, if you're thinking that much about, like, getting bumped into there on a lap, that you're just going to do that and then be like, screw it, like, I'm not out here to do that kind of stuff and pull off, maybe it's time to not be out there, Because when you're thinking about that much, that is when something happens. And I understand. Like, you got a business, you've got
a Mercedes,
you got a wife, you've got a whole group of employees behind you. Like, if you get hurt, it's rough on you. I mean, luckily he's got employees. He can keep his business running if he does get hurt, but it's like, I understand that that's rough. So I don't know, man. It's a interesting situation there. And like I said, he's not racing to go out there and really get results per se. He's more doing it just to prove to himself he can still do it, which he can. So anyway, moving on, Brock Pappy, 20th, Luke Neese, DNS, and then Hardy Munoz, DNS.
Right on.
Sweet.
Hardy Munoz is going to be a spicy pick next week.
And then shout out to Jack Rogers. You were on my fantasy team.
Yeah, why?
He looked good in practice.
Did he?
Yeah, for some reason, his blacked out bike caught my eye, and I watched him a lot I think he was in B group. I watched him a lot in B group, and like he looked okay. Like, obviously not super fast, but he was flowing. And actually, he just got screwed in the heat race because whenever the red flag came out there, so he got a bad start, but he was moving forward. And he was in, I think, like 12th or 13th when the red flag came out. And then obviously that sucked because the red flag comes out and there's like a minute something left. So it's like 3-4 laps, whatever. And he just didn't get a good start there. Ended up, I think, like 14th in the heat. And then in the LCQ, he got a okayish start. I think it was like 7th on the first lap there. But man, just those LCQs were boring last night too, and there was just no pushing forward. He got into, I think it was 5th in the LCQ, but just like could not push forward and gain any traction. So he was right there, and again, he was like a 16 handicap, and I was getting a little sendy because my year hasn't been going well, and I'm like, well, if he gets in with a 16, and then AJ's in with a 15, and then I don't remember who the other two were I had on there, but I'm like, dude, this is setting up to be
looking dialed.
Yeah, be good. And then, like I said, we missed it by 1 spot, so whatever. Just nothing much you can do there. So
Whatever, dude.
all right, 250 race recap, again, brought to you by our friends at Adept Creative Co. Make sure to check them out. One last thing I have here before we get into stocks, and I forgot to mention this in 450s. So that first section, when you came around the first corner there, and there were the 3 rollers into the table or whatever,
Yes.
shout out to Alex Nagy. He was the first guy to double and then use that last roller to jump on the table.
Yeah. Why wasn't that a line in the main, you think? Dark fish?
It was very sketchy. So it didn't give you a ton of lift. So
You had to compress the suspension.
you had to compress it, and it was then you were like literally like tapping the lip of the up ramp on it. Because when I went down and talked to Kev between Q1 and Q2, I said the only thing you're not doing that everybody else is doing is this. And Nagy, like I said, was the first one to do it. He did it twice in free practice because I was trying to get it because I was like, holy, like, did he really just do that?
Yeah, somebody
And I
said
didn't even
Justin Hill did it too.
I didn't even realize it was Nagy. And then, so I watched him do it a couple times. Didn't get it on film, which sucks. But yeah, it was the only thing that really it helped with was that you didn't have to jump into the face of that because the face and the pocket of that table were really small, and you were really obviously just hauling the mail and then boom, pressing in. And those ruts were super deep. It was super, super gnarly. But outside of that, I mean, you were jumping on, off, and then you were still having to hit that face to triple in. So wasn't super helpful. And like I said, it was really gnarly because it wasn't like it was popping you up and giving you extra space to make sure you got on there. You had to perfectly do it, and if you didn't perfectly do it, you were going to nose heavy right into the top of that lip on that tabletop, and you were going to Indonesia at about 100 miles an hour. So I can see why in the main, no.
Yep.
I will say, too, sitting there watching that section, super gnarly, some of the guys, or not gnarly, super sketchy, some of the guys doing the wheelie in, dropping in like that. Their front wheel. Yeah.
The gnarliest thing I ever seen was that section at St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was the gnarliest thing I've ever seen. I'm so glad they cut that down. Like, I was scared to death watching those guys do that.
Nah, it was fine. It was fine. So, all right, stocks here. Wrapping it up here.
Ooh.
All right.
Fire it off. What you got?
Oh, I got to think about this.
Ding, 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 ding. NASDAQ's open.
So my Sexton stock's all gone.
Oh, you sold off?
I'm out.
Oh, you sold it low. You lost your ass.
I did, but I'm out. I've been slowly selling it off, and now we're done. We're just out.
Taking your loss.
Out on that. Yep.
Okay.
I am continuing to buy. Actually, I'm buying Barsha stock.
Yep.
Because we're revving up as we go through the year here. I think contract year. I think we're gonna rev up well. They supposedly found something with the bike. Fork setting. That's what he keeps saying. Fork setting. We found that he really likes. So I think it's gonna be a good rest of the year. So I'm buying in the Barsha stuff here, and I have sold off any Sexton stock I got in the 450 class.
I think I gotta be right there with you, selling off my Sexton stuff. Now, if I want to be a smart businessman, there are 2 options I'm looking at to maximize my gain. I'm a quickie guy.
Oh boy.
I'm buying when it's low, letting it go high, and then I'm selling it.
Okay.
So in this situation, I think the market has dropped Eli Tomac down a little bit.
Yep.
So he's a little cheaper. I think I'm buying him for Detroit.
Okay.
Just because back to the hard pack.
Mm-hmm.
And for the same reasons, I sound like a hypocrite, but this is how the market works. Jason Anderson, I'm buying back in for Detroit.
I'm not going to start buying Ando till we get closer to Glendale.
I'm buying back into Ando for Detroit.
Okay.
Hard pack.
All right.
So
I don't know. I talked to a couple guys last night, and they said they didn't feel that Detroit was that hard. They felt Detroit was very similar to Indy, which I don't remember it being that ruddy ever, but maybe.
Detroit's
We'll see.
a little more hard pack. It's like
That's what I
Dutch.
thought, too.
I think they got their dirt from Dutch.
It depends, too. I meant to look this up last night, and I haven't. Has Monster Jam been in Detroit already?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I guess we'll find out.
Because that's the thing with Indy, too. I don't think Indy would be as ruddy if they had Monster Jam the week or two before. Because the dirt would be inside to thaw and get the
they're
moisture
doing
out.
donuts and shit on it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All right, 250 class. Let's see here. What am I selling here? So I am going to sell. Oof, I don't even know. Because I feel like
This is a tough one right now.
this is because I feel like everybody's kind of
It's level right
on
now.
the up and up. Man.
Did the Deegan one take a dent enough to buy a little more?
So I'm going to sell my Jeremy Martin stock. Because I don't think the rest of Supercross is going to go that great. I think they're having some issues with the bike where he's lacking some. Actually, I listened to an interview, and he was saying that they were lacking sidewall traction. They felt like they got some more this week, but I'm like, is it just the ruts, dude? Like, I don't know. So anyway, so
Better get the Hoosiers back.
they're lacking sidewall traction. So I'm going to sell that. And I am going to buy the Al stock. Because I think that's going to be very slow, but upward, like long term.
Oh, you better buy that for outdoors.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to start in Supercross here.
Okay.
But right now, we had a crash. Not a great finish, 8th this week. So slow, dipping. I'm going to buy it before
Buying
it
the
starts
dip?
going up here. Yep.
All right. I would have bought the dip after Daytona.
Yeah.
After he dipped the front end on that triple. This is a tough one. This is the toughest options we've had.
Yeah.
Toughest pick. Man, I think I'm gonna sell some. I might sell my Jeremy Martin as well because I bought in for Daytona.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sell off the Martin. I like J Mart though. I think I'm gonna buy between some Chris Belos or some Cullen Park.
Okay.
Chris Belos, I think there's a little bit of value there. I think he's continuously getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cullen Park is, if he can start riding during the week again, I think he could be a 6th, 7th place guy.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
All right. Cool.
I got all my money in Bossack. In the Bossack.
Anything else we want to talk about here before we wrap this up?
Race winners, Detroit. Before we wrap it up, what we got?
I mean, you can't argue against Hunter at this point. I'm not even going to try to because I just don't think anybody's got his number in this class right now.
Yep.
And then as far as the 450s go, dude, Barsha's on the up and up. I'm going to go with Barsha.
No?
I think he's on his way to getting one here.
I got, I'm going to go Hunter as well. It's really hard to bet against that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Return of the Mac.
Oh, Eli Tomac winning. Let me ask you a question here, and I didn't ask you this in
Return of the Mac.
450s, and I should have.
Yeah.
Is there any credence at this point to what I was saying at the beginning of the year about Kenny and them testing that bike and him getting better as the year goes on and not seeing the end of the year Kenny where it just falls off like we've seen in years
but it's
past?
too late. It's too late.
You don't think that now that they've found a setting that he likes, okay, and now he can ride during the week instead of just testing? Mm-hmm. Do we see an upward, or was this just a one-off?
I gotta
the
see.
night was right.
I got to see 2 in a row.
Okay.
I got to see 2 weekends in a row.
All right.
He got a podium and then got like 9th the next weekend.
Okay.
This year already. So
Okay. All right. That's
All
fair
right.
enough. I'm just asking
yeah,
because
revisit that question next week because if he comes out in podiums and 4th kind of
Yeah.
in the game again this week, then yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on board.
Okay. Well, like I said, it was a thought last night as he's winning. I'm like, man, I said when they were trying to find it, and when they found it, like the trajectory was going to just continue upward because it was doing a little bit of this, but still kind of in an upwards way. And now, okay, all right, so fair enough. All right, well, this has been episode number 229 of the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Holster Co., Gutter Worx, Adept Creative Co., Isaac Nelson Design, and Edgewood's Farms. Links in the description down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and we will see everyone next week to talk about our Detroit Supercross experience, because me and Cole will both be there.
Yep.
So, all right, thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Yep. Take it easy.